Stop.
Here we are. I am a shell of a man, and this right here is a shell of a show.
We're here.
Yeah, we got past the double digits. We're in single digits now.
Oh yeah.
We're single digits
Only the
where?
countdown.
Of League of Legends.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant in viewers. I was like, oh that's a little bit sad.
You think I know where that number is?
Welcome back to the COFFEEBREATH Show. My name is Daniel J. Collette. Sorry, I just woke up. Oh wait, I didn't even put the. Okay, here we go. Wow, I'm really.
We're doing great.
We're earlier than usual.
We are only 15 minutes late today, which is a good thing for us. This will hopefully be the last episode in which I am waking up, half sleeping after a night shift, and then waking up in time for this show. So thank you for bearing with me. This is my brain functioning on no sleep at all. Currently chugging coffee.
This is your brain on League of Legends.
This is my brain on fucking League of Legends. How's it going, everyone? My name is Daniel J. Collette. As always, joined by my panel of very cursed little goblins.
Cretins.
All of the above. We've got
Decrepit
Morgan.
creatures.
We've
Chuds.
got Myles. And we've got
Monsters.
too many chuds
Trolls.
out there.
Ghouls
tonight.
and ghosts.
Oh, ghouls in the house tonight.
Just another big chud night. This is definitely another chud night here at Bar Coffeebreath. Do we, I guess that begs the question, is every night at Bar Coffeebreath a chud night?
Yes.
No, I think it depends on... There's a certain energy for a Chud night.
What does CHUD stand for again?
Cannibal Humanoid Underground Dweller.
I forgot that it stood for something.
Yeah,
I thought it was
it
just
has
like a really
an
like
aura to it.
dumb name.
No, it is
Yeah.
a funny like meme name.
I think there are some nights here where it's like I don't feel like a humanoid. I kind of just feel like a blob. You
Yeah.
know, like I don't have like structure. It's
You
my
lack
flesh prison.
form.
Yeah.
I think that's most nights of my fucking life.
Yeah.
Any truers out there?
Anyone possessing a physical form couldn't be me.
Yeah. Anyone
Yeah.
confined to a mortal coil?
Any non-Euclideans in chat?
It's a deep cut.
This is the non-Euclidean show. This show goes. Shout outs to all the non-Euclideans
Very
in the
catchy
chat.
name.
Oh god. Hope you guys are all doing well. Thanks for joining us. Let us know if there's any like audio issues or anything. I didn't have a ton of time to test stuff. But the theme for the show tonight, in case you didn't see, is worst dates. We're going to be telling some of our worst date stories, and the lines are open tonight for the first time in a while. We will be opening up the Discord phone lines for any of you guys out there in the chat to call in and tell us your worst dating-related stories. And the worst one is going to win some kind of prize. We haven't really decided what it is yet, but currently what we're thinking is this pack of gamer gummies.
Energy
that Liz
drink
got.
flavored.
It's 7-Eleven. Let me see if I can get a close up on this. Yeah. Gamer gummies from 7-Eleven. There's probably going to end up being a bigger prize, but for now, that's what we're going to pretend is it. Scraps, thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription.
Longer
5 months.
than
It's
my
actually
longest
pretty crazy.
relationship. Bible thump.
Thank you for that. Really appreciate it, dude. You're the best. Always good to hear from you. So we're gonna take some calls. We're gonna tell some of our own stories. If you are interested in calling in and you don't know how, you can just type !call in the chat and you'll get some instructions on how to hop in here, and we'll bring people in as we start to see them in the waiting room. But for now, we'll start off with some of our own stories while people kind of file in.
We've got a lot.
I think
You've got a lot.
Between me and Dan, there are a lot of bad date stories.
I think
shout out to Joseph for
Will
the
the
prime.
hosts
Thank you
share
so
some?
much. You guys are the best. Will the host share some? You mean some of the gummies or some of this? Oh, some of the stories. Yes, we're gonna be sharing some of our own stories.
Yep.
While we wait for some people to hop into Discord.
I don't have the most stories, but I do. I think I have the most powerful stories.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
You
only
have
have
Foot
one.
Guy.
I have not heard Foot
Oh,
Guy.
Foot Guy's
right?
good.
It's pretty powerful.
Oh, Foot Guy! I
love
forgot
Foot
about
Guy.
Foot Guy. So
I guess we're starting with Foot Guy then,
I
aren't
guess
we?
we're
Yeah.
Are we starting?
We're hitting it out the
Okay.
gates.
Oh,
part of the
geez.
reason we picked this topic is because just in case I did have a small fear that because we're working with Twitch chat here that no one would call in because
dates.
they're all celibate. What dates do they have? But luckily, if that's the case and no one has any stories to tell us tonight, we have plenty of our own.
Oh,
Morgan's got
we've
about
got Morgan's
6,000. I've got
Okay.
I've got maybe like 5 or so, and Myles has got. Well, while we're waiting for some people to hop in, I think Morgan mentioned Foot Guy, so I think
gotta
we
talk
have to.
about Foot
I think we
Guy.
have to
Talk
start
about Foot
there.
Guy now, huh? All right.
Morgan, I
what-
think you described the first half of
Oh,
Foot
Maddie
Guy.
just hopped on the line. I don't know why, but she did.
Oh, Maddie, you're muted, I think. I see you in here, but you're muted.
Maddie doesn't know how to unmute. I promise.
She said, "Oh, whoops, didn't mean to."
You're here now.
How do you
Well done,
accidentally
Maddie.
call
Yeah.
into the show? Like, there's a lot of steps
the button,
there.
Maddie.
If you want to talk, you can unmute yourself. We
She
would love
does.
to talk
I
to you.
guarantee she does not know how.
Not a chance. Keep go.
Keep go. Okay, Maddie says
We're on
keep
it.
go. Apparently, she's on the line.
I want to embroider that on like a motivational like
Keep going.
thing
Keep
and just
going.
put it on
Keep
the
go.
bar.
Yeah.
Keep go.
Okay, well, while Maddie figures out whatever the fuck she's
She's
doing,
doing.
we'll get Morgan's story about
Oh,
Foot Guy, the
jeez.
legend.
I'm settling in for
Okay.
this one. I like this.
Morgan,
I'm
I'll hop
excited.
in when I rescue you from this
Okay,
story.
so Foot Guy. To start this off, I didn't know he was a foot guy, and again, you know what? I am gonna kink shame because that's like, you know, kinks are something you bring in like the second or third or maybe fourth date.
It's not second.
Yeah, the third, fourth date, you know, once you like agree, once you have like the talk, did not happen because this was our second date. So the first date was really normal. Oh,
I think it's better that he went to Harvard. I think that's funny.
yeah, to start this off, he was a triple major.
What?
Yeah, I know. So this is
One of
freshman
his
year.
major's toes.
No.
Imagine
I
majoring in
hate
toes.
you.
What? Yeah, orthopedic.
Orthopedic.
Stop.
Yeah, orthopedics.
Yeah, you're straight to be an orthopedic.
Oh, God.
I actually did know someone who had a foot fetish and they were in orthopedics.
No, I feel like that's illegal. That's
that
gotta
should
be
be
illegal.
illegal.
That's
That should be a crime.
That should be a crime.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's
Anyway.
criminal.
so 2015, I just had a Tumblr. I just like got a Tinder. I had a string of very bad and actually some very mediocre dates from Tinder. You know, I was really hoeing out doing
The range was very bad to mediocre.
Yes.
That was the entire spectrum.
I had grown up very religious and as an ugly kid, so when I got to college,
I need to bring up 13-year-old Morgan sometime.
no, when I
Bring
got
up
to
the
college
magnet.
and gained, you know, like the basic baseline of hotness, I was like, wow, suddenly I have all of this freedom that I want to use, and I'm going to use that and overcompensate for my childhood by being hypersexual.
Very cool.
By
Very
being
fun
a
and
hoe.
cool by hoeing out.
Morgan, therapy is on Tuesdays.
Well, I know that now. Anyway, so I had like gone on a whole string of dates after breaking up with a very long term. By long term, I mean like a year, because high school to college, like that's so long.
Barely a year.
Boyfriend, and I think I was also being hypersexual, not gonna lie, because I was like, I'm straight, I can pull men, I'm very straight. So I was like
Extremely
hooking up with a lot of
heterosexual.
people, going out with a lot of people. I matched with this very okay looking dude on Tinder.
He was not bad looking.
the pinnacle of 6 out of 10.
Like he was human.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
existed.
male.
He had a face.
He
He had
was tall.
eyeballs.
He could speak coherently, and he didn't spit in my food when we went out. So that was a plus.
Let me tell you something. His windpipe worked.
Again.
He had 2 nipples. I mean, what else could you ask for?
Oh, Grievous asked, Morgan, did you practice safe sex? We're getting to that. So, first date comes around. It's okay. It's like, whatever. You know, it was like a date. And I was a baby and had like very little experience dating, except in the past month when I went kind of crazy. So I was like, yeah, this is you know, he's warm-blooded, so I will go out with him again. We went out a second time and like went for a very romantic walk around like
Can we get
the river.
Can we make a T-shirt? Whenever we do make Coffee Breath T-shirts, that's gonna be he was warm-blooded, so I went out with him again.
Yeah.
That really
All 4 limbs?
All 4.
Again, I want to stress compulsive heterosexuality, okay? I was like, I like men and just men, so I will go out with this man.
That's how I ended up in my marriage.
Oh no, what?
He had everything.
Anyway.
He had fingernails and teeth and nostrils. I mean, what more do you need,
He
Morgan?
was very nice, and it also helped that he was like, he went to Harvard, he was like a triple major, and like, it was the weirdest shit. It was
Yeah, at
like,
least your parents would be happy about
Yeah.
that.
That's true, yeah.
it was like economics, and acting, and also psychology.
And orthopedics.
How do you fit those three things together?
It's unclear.
You cope by being a foot guy, apparently.
I guess, yeah.
But like, why study those three things? In what fucking universe do you use all
I
three of
don't
those things at
know.
the same time
I don't
in
know.
the same career?
So we're getting to it.
indecisive.
Maybe it was because he knew he had to overcompensate for having
I
a
don't
degenerate like foot thing.
It's just like in comparison to every other kink, feet are like whatever. It's not my thing, but I'm like, there are worse things.
Oh, there's certainly worse
Like,
things.
we're more
Luke.
degenerate things. And anyway,
If you're out there.
it was going well, and I think I had been wearing sandals, and he kept complimenting my pedicure.
Yep.
And I didn't.
No.
Bad sign, but ladies.
I didn't see any of this coming because
You didn't pick up on that?
Morgan was not very smart at the age of 18. Can
yes,
confirm.
I was 18 and had gone out with I had just started casually dating. Like I had gone from baby virgin to relationship where the other person was we're getting married to boom, foot guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, or song guy. That was another one. But anyway, he kept complimenting my pedicure, which I was like, oh wow, thank you. I did it myself instead of studying for finals. And he was like, yeah, you have a real talent for that. And I was like, thank you. I don't know. I like doing my nails. It's fun. And he was like, yeah, it's just, I really love the shape of your toes.
Okay, that should have gotten you.
Okay, he literally said that. He literally said, I love the shape of your toes, and you still weren't sure?
I was a baby.
That one should have
Are
gotten
you okay?
Again, okay. I was a ballerina all through high school, so I had some really fucked up looking feet.
Yeah.
Because ballet does a number on your feet. So,
You were happy about this? So this was good for you?
So I was really
taking
insecure.
compliments. You should get 'em.
I was really insecure about my feet, so I had just started wearing open-toed shoes because I was really insecure about my feet.
Ma'am.
This princess tutu ass bitch over
Okay,
here.
Morgan, this one's on you. I didn't know about this.
Anyway, the date had gone really well. We had hung out for a few hours, and I was like, so, my dorm's only a few blocks away. Do you want to come back? And he was like, yeah, let's go hang out. And I was like, cool, we can smoke weed or, I don't know, make out or something. Because, I don't know, I think you should be direct about, when you want to hook up with someone and just be like, let's make out.
Yeah.
I wanted to make out with him. So I brought him back. I signed him in and everything. And
After he said he liked the shape of your toes.
After...
Also, by the way, shout outs to Rose. Thanks for joining us.
that was a one offhand comment in a 2-hour conversation. So it's very easy to overlook. Also, I'm talking with my therapist about recognizing red flags.
Yeah, for me, that's not easy to overlook. But anyway,
I gotta be
continue.
honest.
Sorry
That was a big swing on his part, and and I mean, and it still landed in bounds. That wasn't a foul ball. He didn't strike out.
I was
solid bunt.
I was 18. I was a baby. I had no experience in dating whatsoever. This is the third or fourth person I had ever gone out with. So I brought him back to the dorm, and I was like, I'm gonna get laid. It's gonna be fun. So I texted my roommates, and I was like, hey, I'm bringing someone back after my date. Do you guys mind clearing the room for an hour? And by then, Liz and Katie were kind of used to it because I was in my hoe phase, like I said. So Liz and Katie bounced, and I brought
him in the common room a whole 5 feet away.
I know.
Probably within clear earshot.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
The walls of that building were made of tissue.
So
no.
I brought her back to my little freshman triple. I turned on the Christmas lights. I turned on my playlist, and I was like, let's go. I turned on the fucking Arctic Monkeys.
Morgan calling herself out right now. I can hear the bass through the walls.
And so, I was
Don't forget the 1975.
Oh yeah, that was also on the playlist freshman year. And it was going really well. We were sitting on my bed talking, and we started kissing, and he did the nice thing where he moved a strand of my hair behind my ear, and I was like, oh my god, this is so romantic. Because again, at the time I was a little baby simp. And we got to the part where you start getting undressed and taking things off and getting into sex, and he was just he was like, oh, I can't really warm up, or I need to warm up to this. And I was like, yeah, foreplay, whatever. Okay, sure. And, so he was like, yeah, I can't, can I do something that'll make myself more comfortable? And I was like, okay. And he was like, can I give you a foot massage?
No!
At least he started with the massage.
That's true.
A little better than starting with the sucking.
He did ask for consent. I didn't understand. I thought it was
At
just
least he asked.
I thought it was just like a massage type thing. It wasn't like a foot thing because like my brain focused on the massage part and not the foot.
You were doing mental gymnastics to ignore the fact that this dude wanted to suck your toes.
It's not the first time I've done mental gymnastics to ignore some red flags.
This is kind of what you do when you're a woman and you're, you know.
Where you're like, oh, well, he won't kill me.
Yeah, the low bar to start with, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
on the fucking floor.
I feel like at this point, the jury's still out on whether or not this guy's gonna kill you.
Well, see, that's the thing. You kind of can't say no because you think he might kill you.
Wasn't Edmund Kemper, like, really intelligent? Didn't he go to Harvard or some shit like that?
Yeah, his whole thing was his foot fetish.
No, not Edmund Kemper, right?
Which there was one of the big serial killers they were famous for having a foot fetish.
Edmund Kemper's the Mindhunter guy.
Now I'm reevaluating my entire life. Anyway.
Oh wait, you said he was tall too, right? Edmund Kemper was 6'7".
He wasn't that tall.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, Scraps confirmed Edmund Kemper.
It was, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, he wasn't that tall.
Good,
kind of a pussy. I gotta be honest, that's kind of like a pussy fetish to have if you're a serial killer. Like, you should be freakier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like, it's
freakier.
like, anyway. So we're getting it on, and then he's like, give me a foot massage, and he was just like, you have really strong feet. And I was like, thank you. And he's like, I can tell you were a ballerina by your arches, by the arches of your feet. And I was like, and he was like, yeah, you just have really high arches. And I was like, okay. And then he started kissing my feet.
Oh, no, I hate this so much.
It began.
I can taste it. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's actually kind of disgusting.
Wait, doing that after?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, I have that problem.
What?
I have that problem where, like,
a foot fetish?
if someone describes like a taste in particular, I can, like, taste it. So I'm getting slightly nauseous. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry for saying this.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It is what it is.
Sandals walking along the Esplanade, like that's kind of disgusting.
That's kind of nasty.
You know, you don't want to put.
Yeah, you easily could have stepped in a couple heroin needles.
It had some added funk.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
God, no.
Oh, God.
What part of I can taste do you not understand that I want less detail?
Anyway, this gets worse.
Oh, shut up.
So he's like kissing my feet, and then he starts moaning, and I was like, and I didn't want to like kiss him after he started kissing my feet.
Yeah,
very valid.
No.
Yeah,
like no. It's just no, ew. We
don't want foot taste.
We were like walking around the like Charles River. Like there was probably dead body on my feet. Anyway.
Oh, fuck's sake.
And so I was like, this is weird,
God.
but you know, I'm gonna be polite and like kick him out after a few minutes.
Oh, he would like to be kicked out, don't you think?
Oh, no.
That's all Myles.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
That was on you.
That was pretty good. That was pretty funny.
And so you know, he was like going at it, and then after he finished kissing my feet, he began sucking my toes.
No!
And like fully moaning while giving my big toe the gluck gluck, and I was
Yeah, let me just do a quick demonstration.
like,
oh damn! Don't.
I know. At that point, I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta kick this. I gotta make this man leave.
Morgan went for the good old fake
So
text.
I like he was so absorbed in like going down on my feet that he didn't even notice me pick up my phone and text Liz and Katie and be like, can you just come back to the room and like, you know, like fake it? I don't know, like get me out of here.
Just knock on the door.
Yeah, just knock on the door.
And I was like, oh, I left my laptop.
Yeah, and so like half a second later, there was a knock on the door. He like stops and we like do the whole like, oh my god, scramble to put on clothing. Except at that point, I was mostly wearing like almost all of my clothing except my shoes.
Were you undressed whatsoever? Or was he just going at it straight?
No, like,
There was only one exposed body part he needed.
Your sock was
off. He was there on a mission. He had business to take care of.
I mean, like, I was in like I was still wearing my shirt and like underwear and like no shoes, and he was like fully dressed.
Whoa.
It
was a very quick turnaround from when I knocked to when the door opened.
So I opened the door and Liz goes, "Oh my god, I need to grab my laptop. Like I left my laptop in here." And I was
pretended
like,
to have a final.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh, I have a final tomorrow. I gotta study for this final. I'll text you. Like, let's wrap this up." And then, it was so awkward. I signed him out, and he went in for the kiss once I, signed him out at the door.
Mouth full of toe fungus.
Stop! Toe in the mouth.
Good night, Grievous. Thanks for joining us.
I couldn't, fully, dodge it, so I let him, kiss it wasn't quite my cheek. It was kind of, my cheek ear, because I dodged it,
temple area.
Like the dodge kiss.
Oh.
So it was
you
more
are
of
an expert in this.
So dude had your ear and your toe in his mouth in the same
and
night.
nothing else.
Oh, no.
It wasn't, open mouth. It was just,
Oh, like a peck?
Less of a kiss and more of a smushing his mouth into my face kind of thing, because he had gone in for a kiss and then I turned last minute. Anyway, I ghosted him after.
Oh, really? You did?
Shocking.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up of you, Morgan.
I said, let me know when you get home safely. And then he texted me half an hour later. He's like, I'm back at my dorm. Had so much fun tonight. And I was like, yep.
I bet you did.
I'm pretty sure I actually did have a final due, and I needed my laptop that day. And after you came out and told me what had happened, I simply couldn't finish working on it.
I'm so sorry.
I simply couldn't do it. I didn't know what to do with my brain.
After he texted me and said that he had gotten home safely, I was like, cool, and then never answered another one of his texts.
Yeah, he was really towing a line there,
yeah.
I think.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Myles, how long were you sitting on that one?
I was sitting on that one for a good long while.
Oh,
rather
Jesus.
sit than stand on it, don't you think?
No.
God.
Someone stop
Christ.
him. No,
Can we arrest him?
Yeah. A cab, but
The one thing cops are good for is
arresting Myles, yeah.
Oh, God. I don't know. I would be very surprised if someone had a worse story than that. That's pretty fucking...
I don't know.
Yeah, that's,
I think that's my hookup story with the most shock value, but it's not my worst hookup story.
I think that the sole problem with it is that's funny.
No, I think the Alan Chow story
Get
is
the
worse.
fuck out.
No.
Yeah,
The
that
Alan
guy
story
was
is
pretty
so
bad.
much worse.
We shouldn't say his full name.
That's fair.
Sai, thank you so much for the Prime sub.
Thank you very much.
I disagree,
Myles
Myles.
I'm a fan favorite. That's the thing is,
we appreciate it, but disagree with the message.
I'm popular amongst the fans, not amongst the
I liked
hosts.
that period of the show where Myles wasn't here.
Yeah, I miss Harold.
That was a great arc.
Can I just say, Harold had a PhD, and this guy also has a PhD. So maybe don't write out Harold.
He might by now.
Yeah, he would now.
It's only been 6 years. It takes 8 years to get a PhD.
I guess
maybe he
true.
was smart.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was triple majoring, so you never know.
You never know.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be there for 16 years. Yeah, he's really dragging his foot on that degree, huh?
Shut the fuck up.
I did see someone out there. I think it was Potato in the chat who said who was trying to call in. Let us.
Anyone?
Yeah, if you want to call in.
Yeah.
Morgan is not eligible to win the prize because her stories are too foul, and it's just not fair.
That's the worst one.
Also, I saw Rose in the chat at some point. Shout outs, Rose, you're the best. If you have any horrible days.
We have someone in the waiting room.
Is that Potato?
Jacob, it looks like. Jesse.
Jacob?
Yes.
Jesse Roberts.
I'm pretty sure that's Potato. All right, we're gonna bring you in. We're gonna bring you in.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
You are live on the stream. Wait.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Hold on.
We can.
I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. Hold on.
All right, my story is much safer for work. So.
Oh, excellent.
Jenna's Morgan's
that
are very
was objectively safe for work because it didn't involve any genitals.
That's true.
The show is a genital.
That's true.
In his mind, it was.
Yeah, it really hits like it is, huh? It's like a nice huff.
The fact that wasn't the worst story I have, I don't know. I'm just reevaluating my entire love life over here.
Okay, chat. Let us know if you can hear. If you have trouble hearing the caller, I think it should be fine. How's it going?
What was that?
How's it going?
It's going well. So I saw your tweet and immediately thought of something, so I figured I should probably call in for it.
We love
Hell
cheers.
yeah! Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Hit us with your worst dating story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was back in uni, junior year, and it was this girl that I'd been really interested in for a very long time.
That's
She
the
was,
worst.
super popular on campus, president of a bunch of different clubs, all that.
Nice.
So,
Love
like,
a good
on paper,
president.
it's just like, wow, like this girl's really impressive.
Yeah, love a good president.
And one of my friends
Would love to
was
have
actually
one of
really
those.
close with her. She's swinging by all the time, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna actually like go for it. Get her to say yes. Have this like extravagant date planned out, like really nice restaurant, like all this different stuff. And then on like the day of, like just a few hours before, she's like, I can't make it. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever, like maybe another time. And then like an hour before when we were supposed to go, like at this point I had already canceled all my other plans. She's like, actually, let's go get coffee. And I was like, oh, cool, like I know this really nice coffee place, like in downtown, it can be a vibe. And then she's like, no, let's go to the graduate students one on campus. So it's just like this super like awkward.
Wait,
thing.
there's a secret coffee place just for graduate students?
No, it's not like secret, but only the graduate students would go to it. Because it was like this super like kind of formal like vibe. It wasn't
very strange.
like it wasn't like a chill vibe or anything.
Where'd you go to school, if you don't mind me asking?
Rice in Houston.
Okay, that sounds like a Houston thing, yeah.
Yeah. And so we go, and it's like just super odd because it's like very public, and not in the sense of like, because I mean like most coffee houses like kind of have like a little bit of privacy in the sense that you can like find a nice table in the corner or something like that. But this one is just like huge open space, almost like cafeteria style for a coffee house.
Okay.
And so we sit down, start talking, and this girl is giving me yeses to like open-ended questions. Like I'm trying to make like open-ended questions to like drive conversation, and she's turning them into yes/no questions essentially.
Yeah, I've been there
just,
before.
Like, super awkward. And then, as you can tell, like date didn't go that great. Get home, she tells me that she's not really interested in it again. She has too much on her plate. And then, oddly enough, like we become like friends. It seems like after that. And she starts hanging out with my friend group more and more. Then I start dating this other girl that she knows that she didn't like. And then this girl like literally flips the script, starts talking all this like mess about me in like many mediums, and then starts like going around like it was just like really odd in the sense that so like basically she was saying that my conversation was like the driest thing ever, and it was just so funny because so many like I told so many of my friends about like the way she was interacting with me on the date, and like how she was, I would ask her like, oh, like how did you enjoy like where you grew up, like kind of questions like that, and it would just be, oh, I liked it, and just stuff like that the entire time. And then the conversation after that, she basically began around like just talking like mad shit about me essentially, like to all the different friend groups that we were like mutual in, and then saying that I was super egotistical and would only talk about myself on dates and wouldn't let the other person have a word in the sentence. And it was just like super odd.
She had a lot to say about you after only going on one date.
Yeah.
You only went on one date, right?
Intense.
Yeah, no, it was literally one date for 45 minutes at a coffee house.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, but she really had a great read on you after this one date. So but months later she figured this out. Like,
she had to sit on it for a while.
Yeah, she was postulating.
Hey guys,
it wasn't even months. It was like literally like she flipped it within like 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Oh wow, that sucks.
Like within those 2 weeks, we got super close as friends. Like she was hanging out with us all the time. And then when I started going on dates with this girl she didn't like, she just completely flipped it.
Whoa.
I mean, in her defense, it sounds like you did talk for most of the
Yeah, that's
date.
true. You did talk for most of the date, it just was not your fault.
It wasn't by choice, though, from what it sounds like.
He was so egotistical, he kept asking me questions.
This dude was so obsessed with himself, he just needed to know more about me.
The audacity of you to trying to get to know her as a person.
That's the funny thing too, is all your questions seem really like
thoughtful.
Yeah, very thoughtful, like things that I would like to. Oh, hey, how's it going, Con? That's good. Anyways, yeah, things that like I would love to be asked. I think everyone likes to answer those kinds of questions. Like, you basically went on a date with the one person who did not like to talk about themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it was
This bitch like Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2 just like refuses to have a life of her own.
I mean, I don't know. As someone who has gone on plenty of dates with people who wouldn't stop talking, the fact that you even asked questions, like, the bar is on the floor, you know? Like, but that is where the bar is, where you're like, wow, they asked questions.
Well, they want to know about
it. Could be worse. It could be worse.
I will also confirm that I've been told that I'm a very good. Oh, motherfucker! Fuck this fucking camera.
I haven't.
Shit.
Ben, I haven't told your story yet.
Yeah, Liz has not gotten into it.
I've been told that, like, as far as straight white guys go on Tinder, I'm really good at dates just because I ask questions.
Oh,
like, that's how low the bar. I've had multiple people tell me, like, wow, I was impressed that you, like, asked me questions about myself.
Real quickly, I do see someone else in the waiting room. Just to let you know, once Jesse leaves, we're going to bring you in there. So if you're in the waiting room for a while, just be patient.
Just hang out there. We'll bring you in when we're done.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
That's...
No, the bar really is just, like, on the floor when it comes to, like, dating men. It's like, does he have a bed frame? Yeah. Does he
that's not a deal breaker, though.
Yeah, have you ever...
no, it's not a deal breaker.
When you're 18, especially, it's not a deal breaker.
It's like that picture of the guy's apartment where it's just a chair and a TV. Like,
listen, when you're 22, it's still not a deal breaker.
A brief tangent. My favorite thing is that Ben used to have a bed frame and then stopped having a bed frame.
Dude, literally, okay, the last person I dated stopped having a bed frame, like, halfway through our relationship, and I was like,
what happened?
Was this a choice? I don't know how you go downgrade from having a bed frame.
Yeah. In Ben's defense, he got a free mattress that was a queen and he had a twin-size bed frame, but it was like a year and a half.
You could just balance the bed frame on the twin frame.
Yeah, like it's something. But I
keep it propped up with stools, you know?
I feel like the checklist for dating men is so minimal. It's like, does he have a bed frame? Does he at least have a water filter? That's asking for a lot.
That's a big ask.
That's a huge ask. Like, does he have a water filter? And does he have some semblance of, like, conversational skills beyond, like, yeah.
You know what sucks?
That's it.
Can I say, you know what sucks about this bar? I'm an ideal date by this bar's metrics. It needs to be higher because this is not an appropriate metric. This cannot be good standards. This right here is not okay. You need to value yourself because otherwise you end up with this. And I know I'm a gorgeous man. I'm an 8 at the very least. But I'm also a gremlin. I'm a monster. You don't understand.
Like that's the bare minimum of, like, standards. And then, like, the aspirational ones are like, do they use beauty products beyond, not even beauty products, hygiene products beyond 3-in-1 shampoo?
Yes.
I've had girls be impressed that I wash my face at night.
Yes.
Yep.
Do they know to change their sheets more than, like, once every 6 weeks? Like, that's real aspirational.
Change them every 2 weeks, baby. Yeah. Use Tresemme. Let's go!
This group here likes to make fun of me and say, and the joke is always like, oh, how does Dan ever, like, talk to a woman when, like, they come over and...
If you see this house, you would understand why we asked that question.
My house, you walk into a wall, a literal, like, entire wall of gamer jerseys, like our gamer Hall of Fame between me and my roommate, and then you come in and I've got, like, just the worst shit on the walls. I've got a fucking arcade cabinet. I've got like a Persona
giant Overwatch poster
shrine.
In my
the giant Tom Nook that just stares. It makes eye contact with me.
And then you walk into my bedroom and I have this giant wall-sized JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fucking banner hanging on my wall.
It's like, well, there's two There's the Giorno Giovanna one.
Yeah. I have a glass case with anime figurines in it, and the joke is always like, oh, how does Dan ever, like, get with any girl? And the thing is, I have a bed frame, and my bed is made, and I brush my teeth at night, and I wash my face, and unfortunately, that is enough for a lot of people.
Here's the thing. I use Tresemme shampoo and conditioner, and I use a nice bar of Dove soap. Whoa. I brush my teeth for 2 minutes twice a day using an electric toothbrush.
Wow.
And that's it. And all of this sounds amazing to people.
We do have 3 people in the waiting room.
Yeah, oh shit, we do. I'm sorry for keeping you here, Jesse. Any final thoughts for the chat? Thanks for your story.
No, you're good. I would say just the last thing that was like the funniest part to like wrap up on was that like at the end, like when she's like started telling people how like horrible of a date I was, is she also started saying that she actually really liked me, but I wouldn't go out on another date with her.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This person,
So-
I'm not.
That's
It
a little
honestly seems
sus.
like
This person is a little
you
sus.
dodged a bullet. Like you got out of a real bad.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it could've
I
been worse
definitely
for you, but-
lucked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would vote her out. Throw her out of the airlock. That's how sus she
vote her off
is.
the island.
All right, thanks for the story. Thank you for joining
Yeah.
us.
Thanks,
Appreciate
I
it.
hope you have a bed frame.
Yeah, I also
I
hope
do.
they have a bed frame.
Excellent.
Fuck yeah. Thank you so much for the support as always. Shout
Hey,
out to
Hollis.
Hollis for
Thank
the
you so
tier 1
much.
subscription.
Hello,
Good to
Hollis.
see you.
One's together. Really getting serious.
Yeah, it is getting pretty fucking serious in here. Thank you so much, Hollis. Really appreciate that. Thanks to everyone who subs. We've had a lot of subs. You guys are amazing.
So we actually have someone in the waiting room who the first person who joined is actually a good friend of mine, old friend of like 4 years, Kong. So let's bring him in here.
All right, we're gonna bring
boy.
people in. I see there's a few people in the waiting room. We're gonna bring you in order in which you got here. I see
Ben, you were technically
Ben
second,
was second,
but
Ben was
yeah.
second,
I don't
and
think you
see-
deserve
I
that.
see somebody
so.
else in there. I
Yeah,
can't read their name from
It's
here.
Ben is allowed to go to brunch because he's in Australia.
Yeah, so I think he doesn't deserve to come next.
Hello,
Anyway.
Kong.
Hello.
You're on the Coffee Breath Show. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to hell.
Welcome.
I'm sorry, you kind of cut out where I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said welcome to the Coffee Breath Show. Thank you for joining us.
I'm so sorry you're
Thank you.
here.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. So my story, not a long one. It's kind of cringe. I don't know. It
We
was
love
weird.
cringe.
That's what we want.
We
Hey.
love that, baby.
That's most of our
Yeah.
stories. So
I think mostly just uncomfortable describes it the best. But you know, Myles, I might have told you this story before. It was
If I
probably around,
recommend,
like 4 years ago.
yeah, if I remember it, I'll call it out.
Okay. So at the time, I worked at a Walmart, and I worked in the electronics department because he knows about video games, so he's good for
Good
the job.
enough.
That's, I guess, what they thought.
Massive dub.
Yeah, gamer moment. So
Epic
no,
gamer
some
moment.
some girl walked up to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to go on a date?" And I was like,
Whoa, just like out of the cold blue?
Oh, I could write a book of the amount of
pouring Mountain
times.
Dew into a mug is something.
Do a Coffee Breath branded Coffee Breath mug.
I could
Yeah.
write a book of the amount of times I was asked out while working at the Starbucks.
Ooh.
So it's
Yeah.
not unusual.
It's more unusual for a guy though to be asked out while working.
Anyway, continue your
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
I would agree with Myles. It is maybe more unusual for a guy, but that wasn't like the weird part. I was like, yeah, okay, sure. We traded phone numbers, and then later I texted her and never got a reply. So she called me later and was like, hey, I don't have my own cell phone. I'm using our house phone. I was like, oh, okay, well, phone's probably fucked up. That's fine. I'll get into that. What's so weird about that later? So, we talked for a minute and we're like, okay, so you want to go out somewhere sometime and get dinner or something? And she's like, yeah. So we decided to go to a local Mexican restaurant. For context, I live in Southeast Oklahoma, so it's America Mexican food.
Yeah, that must
Yeah.
be some really good Mexican food.
really prime
Yeah.
content.
So we get there and we sit down. For context, she was Mexican. And most of the staff here are also Mexican. This isn't like a racist thing or anything. It's just, you'll see why. So when it comes time, the waitress comes to take our order, our drink order, she asked in Spanish, I don't even know what she said, and, to the girl I'm sitting at the table with. And she'd asked me, what drink do you want? I was like, water. And she says it back to the waitress in Spanish.
Agua.
And
Wow,
that
dude, you're
wasn't
so
too,
cool.
Wow.
Very cool guy.
Did you take high school Spanish?
No, I didn't say it in Spanish. She said it the
Oh, we're
girl
making
asked
fun
me-
No,
of-
they're
roasting
making fun of
Dan.
me. They're
Yeah.
making fun of me.
No, we're doing what we do best and making fun of Dan.
Sorry to
Oh,
interrupt you.
okay.
Yeah, continue.
Sorry, I might not have heard Dan say something.
It's all good.
I wish I could do that.
Me too.
Yeah. But so then I'm like, okay, that was a little weird, but I would like to mention I was also a regular here. Around this time, I came here most days because it was pretty cheap and decent food. And I was an 18-year-old who did not know how to cook.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so then she comes back to take our food order, and I always get the same thing. this waitress has seated me many times before and has not asked me what I wanted, just like looked at me and I just would nod. She would be like, okay, usual. And she still has that. Like, she asked the other girl. And the girl says, what do you want? I'm like, dude, she knows what I want. Why are they excluding me? It just felt very awkward. I don't know, I felt like I was pretty good friends with most of the staff by this point. And they were just like, we're not going to talk to him this time.
Oh.
Yeah, and it felt very weird. And, you know, like one of the past stories before, she just didn't say anything or ask questions. You know, one of those kind of just bad, awkward dates, along with the weird, like, let's ignore this guy, this white guy. So
that's so cursed, because like, why can't you just like deal with it for like a date? Just like answer questions, just fake it,
right,
and then just ghost them. Like, it's so easy to just be nice.
Yeah.
For like 30 minutes.
But if it does make you feel better, having dated many white guys, it's a very common thing. If you like bring a white man to a restaurant that is from the same race as you, that is like, they will ignore the white man. Like, with the last, with the last person I dated, we were at a Thai restaurant, and he ordered like, we both ordered like a spicy curry of some sort, and she was like, okay, she turned to me and she was like, oh, spicy curry, okay, and she wrote him down, and she looked at him and he was like, oh, can I get the same thing, the spicy, like level 3? And she like looked him up and down and was like, I think you should get a mild.
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, we would go into this breakfast place around us a lot, and Morgan broke up with one white guy and started dating another at one point, and brought him in instead in the mornings, and she like aggressively looked him up and down, then looked at you and was like, oh, yeah, and then gossiped with your parents about it when they came to visit.
This breakfast place is also Korean, so when I brought my parents to this breakfast place and they were like chatting in Korean, the lady was like, yeah, she's dating another white man.
Oh, no. It was amazing.
She was just like, I go to church. I know many like available Korean boys. Even Chinese if you want.
I don't think that like whole concept is like exclusively for when you're on a date though, because like, you know, we live in Koreatown, Los Angeles, so there's a fuck ton of Korean places, and a lot of them we frequent pretty often, and like, you know some of the people that work there, and there's one that we go to all the time. It's like a pub, so they have like drinks and food, and we always order the same like spicy chicken every single time we're there.
Oh, yeah. She always looks at you.
Every single time we order it, they look at me and they're like, "Are you sure you can handle it?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm here like I'm here like every day. Like, I get it. I get like I'm a white guy eating Korean food, and you probably see a lot of people here who can't handle that, but like, I'm here every fucking day, bro."
The other thing is the barley tea versus the water.
That's my favorite thing ever. Wait, before we move on to the next thing, I'll tell this really quick.
I think
this is really funny.
You have like a limit on the mic, so if it gets so loud, I can't hear you on Discord.
Oh, okay,
so
I see.
I wasn't sure why it was cutting out, but I think that's what it is.
Okay, I will not scream then.
No, I don't mind. I just didn't hear anything.
No, thanks for the heads up. I didn't know. We haven't done a lot of testing with the Discord thing. But this same Korean place I was just talking about, they do this thing that it took us a long time to figure out. Like, sometimes I would go there, and a lot of their food's really spicy, and it's pretty like common for them to just like not serve you water unless you ask for it, which is like,
because you have soju instead.
Yeah, like it's kind of just a thing.
Better water.
But like, sometimes,
I disagree.
Sometimes you like really need to like cool off your mouth. Like, they serve some really fucking hot stuff there. And so I would always ask for water. And about half the time they would bring me barley tea, which is, pretty common for Korean restaurants to serve instead of water. But then the other half of the time, and it would like come in like a pot, and it would be like cold, and they'd serve it to you in like a bowl, like all the things that you would expect. But sometimes when I would ask for water, instead they bring me like just the classic like giant plastic Coke cup filled with tap water and ice. And I could never figure out like why sometimes they would give me the tea and sometimes they would give me the water. I would only ever ask for water, and I would get one or the other. It was always a toss-up. And it took like months and months of going there to finally figure out that if it was only white people in the group, they would give you tap water.
It's based on the concentration of Koreans.
Okay.
Yeah, and if the ratio was skewed a little bit more towards people of color, they would give you the barley tea instead.
This is how I figured out why I never get water when I'm at this place. Like, I will ask for water in both English and in Korean, and either way, they'll bring me barley tea. Like, I'll be like, oh, can I have some water? In either language, they'll be like, here's poricha, and I'll be like, wait, I asked for water, and they're like, yeah, poricha. And then I realize I just have to go with white people if I want water.
If you want water.
But also then, like, the white person has to ask for it, because I've gone with you and gotten barley tea if you ask for it. But if I
also just have to not be at the table.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have to go to the bathroom.
Straight up, like, leave.
It depends on the concentration.
Because like
when I come back.
In the before times, we went like on like Oscars night when Bong Joon-ho won the Oscars, and we were like, oh my god, we gotta go celebrate. And I asked for water, and they wouldn't give me water, even though I was with mostly white people.
That's true.
Yeah, like
they were in a mood that night.
Yeah,
They're like, no.
You're in our country now.
Yeah, they were like, no. Your ancestors want you to drink this instead.
Make them proud today.
Anyway, well, thank you for that story. Any final thoughts you want to share before we move on to the next one?
I really wish I did, but I do not.
That's
okay. Totally fine.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Kong, thank you so much for calling in.
Problem.
Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for supporting.
It's great to see you again. It's really great to see you again.
Yeah, it was really fun to talk to you again, Myles.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully I'll catch the next stream.
Yeah, every Friday night at 8 p.m. we are here.
Don't say that at 8 p.m. It's 8:20.
We are online by at least
8 and 8:30.
At least 8:30. We are here.
That's true.
I totally get it.
All right, cheers, Kong. Thank you for the story. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Have a good one.
All right, we have I think Megan and Ben.
I'm going to bring in Megan just because I know Ben will wait.
Yeah, Ben's a regular.
We don't care about Ben very much.
I don't know who Megan is, unless I do know you and I just don't know your Discord. I'm going to bring you in now.
Ben is one of my favorite people personally, but I also don't want to talk to him ever.
Yeah,
Megan, you are live on stream. How's it going?
Hi, how are you guys?
Hello.
We're all good, thank you.
We are doing great. How are you?
I'm okay. Miles and Morgan, I actually know you both personally from undergrad. I am Addie's old roommate, Megan.
Oh shit! Hey, what's up?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. It's great.
I
to
didn't.
see you guys again.
I didn't quite hear that. Whose roommate are you?
Addie.
Oh, okay.
I believe, ironically, you went on a bad date with my other roommate, Allison.
Yes, that is a story I intend to tell.
On the list, actually.
I will say don't tell the story anymore then.
Yes,
this is history in the making.
Yeah, that's the thing is that is the story I will be telling. But I actually do remember you now that we had a writing class together. We had a writing the short film class together. Yes. That was I wrote the Vocaloid movie.
Yes,
wait, excuse me.
I tell people about that all the time.
It was a great story.
You wrote a Vocaloid movie?
It was based on
weed.
It was based on Hello Planet, which is an incredible little song.
Oh, okay. We need to stop Miles from talking.
Anyway, please tell your story, Megan.
Yeah, Megan, can you tell your story before Miles talks again, please?
Yeah.
This story is kind of like the same levels of cursed as Morgan's, and I really apologize. I don't know. Say pineapple if you need me to stop.
We will not say pineapple.
We're out here.
Trust me, there are no breaks on this train.
I know the Twitch TOS is weird. So, this took place in like December of 2019. So fairly recently.
In the before times.
First date was okay with this girl. She actually had a friend accidentally crash the date. We were both grad students at Boston University. Not the Boston University, but a different one. And the friend crashed the date, and it was fine. But this was after about 2 weeks or so. And, we were kind of hooking up, and she had said that she was kinky, but I didn't realize how bad that went.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
This is a great start.
I feel like that's something you talk about before.
You gotta discuss.
It's just... You discuss the terms of service, like...
Terms of service.
Oh no.
Sorry,
I
please
will
continue.
keep it as vague as humanly possible.
No, go in.
No.
Go
You
for
get
it.
specific. Morgan was talking about like the person you're dating
Yeah.
should discuss this
Yeah,
with you.
like before you like get into anything vaguely kinky, you're like, hey, this is what I'm into, and this is what I want to do to your body with my body, you know?
Yeah, she was a big fan of quote unquote testing my limits.
Oh.
Oh, no!
No.
That's
First of all, that's like a mad. That's what mad
nothing
scientists
happened.
say.
Nothing happened in real life, but she did propose to me a question, which is a question that I immediately ghosted her afterwards. I learned far too late that she was into water sports.
That's it. There it is.
And you know what? If that's your
Luke.
deal, that's your deal. I am just not in that camp. And so I asked her immediately thereafter, I was like, that is physically impossible with how small my room is in my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And so she tells me, well, why don't you go to Home Depot and buy a tarp?
This is a lot on you. That's the thing. That needs to be her tarp.
You should provide
also,
the tarp.
like, that is the most gay shit.
What?
Yeah, going to Home Depot.
Just being like, oh, we can solve that with Home Depot.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's
we can
the most,
solve
like,
everything with Home Depot.
queer women love to steal from, sorry,
Oh,
to
no, let
borrow
me-
from Home
okay.
Depot.
Let me explain something. Water sports to Boomer Jungle is peeing
no.
on someone. It's not about jet skiing.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Thanks, Myles.
What? He didn't know.
No, I mean, I'll be totally honest, I was about to ask. I didn't want to really out myself for being that straight and white, but,
Oh, so
No,
you
yeah.
didn't spend time on
That
Tumblr in
vanilla,
the early
yeah.
2010s.
Yeah,
Not
water-
on- clearly someone's not on Kink Talk.
Yeah,
well,
water
I mean,
port.
I'm aware of these types of things. I just did not know that term. I had actually a lot of different things in my head, and I was just trying to decide which one we were focusing
Have
on.
you
So-
never
Now that
taken the
we're,
rice purity test?
The what?
You didn't do that in high school, the
No,
rice purity
I
test?
didn't.
Oh, it's come back on TikTok.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that we've cleared that up for Dan.
Ben asked, imagine being into water sports and not having an assortment of tarps. You know, I feel like that is something you would have on hand if you're like into that. Like,
Well, I think people who are into water sports, I don't think they would really necessarily mind their sheets getting dirty. You know,
it just seems
But
really
like, then it would be damp when you go to bed, and like, I
Yeah,
feel like
like-
you would just
I guess you
you would lay something
I don't
out.
know.
I don't really know. I haven't planned this out. What do you
Yeah,
want from me?
luckily no one at this
Anyway.
bar that I'm aware of has pissed on anyone for fun.
I just think
Not
like,
for fun. To put them out.
Wait, what?
Also,
They were on fire.
I don't want to hear any more from Myles. Please
That's
continue.
a joke.
Megan.
It's a.
Anyway, Megan, continue.
It's just not.
Also, like, I think the worst part of the situation, I mean, besides asking me to go to Home Depot and get a tarp, was the fact that we couldn't, like, go to her apartment at all because she couldn't have overnight guests.
Whoa.
So, like,
Why?
because she had, like, this like, crazy landlord. Like, she had, like, a builder living in her living room.
What the
Rent-free.
fuck?
Okay.
He should have built her like a tub for her to use.
This
You know?
was Boston, right?
Oh,
This sounds
God.
right.
Yeah, was this like Alston Brighton? Because that would make
'Cause
sense.
that
Yeah,
tracks.
it was Mission Hill.
This
Oh,
still kind of
yeah.
tracks.
That
guess.
tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
good
don't
old
know.
Mission Hill.
Boston is a weird place to live for anyone who's never lived there.
Yeah. There are a lot of illegal, or not technically illegal, but questionably ethical things that
Our
happen.
porch in Alston was at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, but it wasn't technically illegal because
Not
it wasn't a
technically.
registered porch.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question that
What?
I think I'm going to immediately regret asking.
I do have one question for you actually, if you don't mind me asking first.
Yeah, Myles, you go first.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think is more sanitary, your ex-girlfriend's piss or the Charles?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm gonna say the piss.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the correct answer.
All right, one more question if you don't mind, and feel free to
Absolutely.
veto this. I guess this goes for anyone in the room, just because I'm only now just discovering what the term water sports indicates. When you said the idea of sports kind of makes me think of like fun
Yeah.
activity.
Yeah.
It's a
with
weird
like
term.
with a goal
I mean,
in
hey,
mind.
It's a fun activity with a goal in mind for someone.
That's
Right,
true.
but when I
That's
think so, when you started calling it water sports, and I put the picture together in my head, and you were saying you needed like space and a tarp, I'm imagining we're like trying to hit targets together. We're like,
I think that would be a lot more universally
break the
fun.
targets.
yeah, Like that's kind of what I'm picturing. Is that what it was?
Peeing for distance.
I know that you didn't do it, so maybe you don't have an answer. Is it the type of thing where they're looking to like reach some kind of goal, hit some kind of target, set a record? Because that's what comes into my head when you say sports.
So it wasn't like an Olympic sport that she was trying to accomplish, and there was no discussion of a target.
Like, what I'm picturing is basically
there's-
this girl laying out a tarp. Sorry to interrupt. Just to explain what I'm thinking in my head. I'm imagining this girl lays out a tarp and she's like, all right, who's going further? Like, let's see. Like, which one of us can go the farthest?
Golden medal, more like golden shower winner. Hey! Oh, we fucked that up. That's fine.
Wait, let's try. I had to put down my coffee. There we go.
Yeah, as far as I know, she just wanted to, like, I guess relieve herself on my body.
That makes more sense,
like
yeah.
The mouth as well.
Yeah.
On occasion, I think that's involved.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, that might be a little too extreme for you," and I was like,
the first thing is a little too extreme for me. Well, I have I mean, here's the thing. Would you, is it weirder that she wanted to pee on you, or like, because I feel like it would be uncomfortable if she wanted me to do that to her. I would feel a little chuffed about that, I suppose.
I believe she brought up a vice versa situation. I had already begun to wildly dissociate at that point.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense, and I don't blame you for that.
Yeah, I would too if I were you.
I was just like, you know what? It's time for you to go. I'm very sorry.
The two genders, pisser or pissy.
I just never talked to her after that, and I like fully ghosted her. And I
Very good call.
And I told my roommates about it months later, and they were like, "Are you kidding me? She was the nicest girl."
That's such a shame.
To be totally fair, though, like you were not wrong to ghost her from that.
Call.
That's a really solid deal breaker, and I'm sure she's probably really used to that.
Yeah. Also, like,
I think if
you don't just like release your. I'm trying to make a pun.
You're trying to do the thing that I was doing? Yeah.
You just don't.
It's effortless when I do it.
You don't dump like a kink on someone.
Oh, you don't dump a kink on someone?
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. Yeah, it's a very different, the other side.
No, Morgan's right, though. It's like such an insane. That's when your kink is like that far out. Like you have to be just used to people totally ghosting you, because like you're not gonna find a lot of people who are like okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to find a partner for that.
Like,
I think there's also a level where
BDSM where you're like you talk about this before you start having sex, and then there's like. Like kinks that you're like, ooh, yikes, that's a full conversation.
Maybe you wait till you're like in a committed relationship with someone.
I think that's worse, actually.
I saw something kind of funny though. I was on
That's fair.
It's right before you decide your exclusive talk.
Yeah, you kind of have to bring that up.
I was on the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure subreddit.
Of course you were.
And,
great way to start a story.
Well, no, and the thing, do you remember the scene where Abakio pees into a teacup and makes Giorno drink it in part 5?
Yes.
Someone was like, my boyfriend wanted to do that to me, and the only way I could justify it to myself is that it was a JoJo reference. And she was like, yeah, my boyfriend loves to drink pee, and I just let him, and I just pretend that it's because he likes JoJo a lot, and I'm like, I think that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Paula said no kink shaming for sure, but there has to be a baseline of trust between you and the person, right? Yeah, I think like you would need to get to like beyond the second date, you know?
Yeah. Want to make 100% clear, no kink shaming on this show at all.
Except
it's been nothing but kink shaming. What are we talking about?
Fuck you guys.
We do shame Dan.
I actually fucking hate you. No, stop. This is the worst bit.
I will say this much too. I think if you're into. First of all, when someone says I'm into testing limits, you know that they're like maybe a little too.
Red flag.
They're probably a little too into like the fetish life. That's something that like fantasy doms in, let's say, a terrible amateurly written book would write. Like a self-published author might write something like that if they were a particular hack fraud. But
a certain E.L. James, if you will.
Just very hypothetical. A very hypothetical person like this might say something like that because that's like generically a kinky thing to say.
Also,
but that's the thing is like.
Is like you don't test limits. Like you establish your boundaries, and then you're like, these are my boundaries. Those are your boundaries. We don't cross each other's boundaries.
Well, then the other thing is that like
a fucking creep, you know?
But then the other thing is that if someone isn't okay with something and that's something that they really need, like that is a conversation. Like, can this relationship go on without that? Is it okay if I seek that from other people? Like that sort of thing. So I feel like that like she was kind of coming at this like I don't know where you met
No
this
way.
person, but she came at you like a FetLife ad.
I'm like, honestly, like, if that is your thing, that is your thing. Like, I don't
100%.
like 100%. But it just like
Don't
wasn't
test
my
limits.
thing, and I was like so violently thrown into the situation, and I was like, I don't know what to say. There's no dummy's guide to when.
Yeah.
Dummy's Guide to Piss Play.
They did not cover this during their consent talks during
During
the
orientation.
love doctor.
The date doctor
Yeah,
did
the
not
date
prepare
doctor.
you
The
for
date
this.
doctor
Yeah.
did not prepare any of us for.
Sorry, Dummy's Guide to Piss Play. Send me
Can we
reeling.
put that on the
Wa-
t-shirt?
water
That's gonna
sport
be the
for
t-shirt.
wimps.
All
The
right.
Coffee Breath Show, Dummy's Guide to Piss Pool.
Megan, that was an incredible
Megan.
story.
Thank you so
so
much.
much for sharing that.
Thank you.
so much.
Any final thoughts before we let you go?
Consent is a really cool thing, and if you want to do something with your partner,
Don't tell them to go to Home Depot.
Let's test your limits. That's not a good thing.
Not a good way to open it.
Really bad opener. Fuck.
Hey.
All right, thank you, Megan, for joining us.
Thank
Appreciate
you so
it.
much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
It was great.
Have a good night. Bye bye.
Yeah. And it was great to hear from you again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining.
She's gone.
Yeah.
Ben is
All right.
here.
I wanted to say, actually,
Before
even though she left, I do want to say, actually, I also remember the short film that you wrote for that. So I was a little lost in memory lane when you were talking. So it was great to hear from you
About
again.
piss play? Or?
No, she wrote another short film in our class. It was like a wedding quest kind of thing,
Oh,
like the
sick.
Dan Harmon episodes of like the D&D episodes of
Oh,
Community.
yeah.
Like she
Yeah.
did something like that, but for like marriage.
Oh, that's sick.
Like the whole something borrowed, something blue, like
That's fun.
that being an epic quest. It was really cute. I liked it a lot.
Really quick before we move on to the next caller, Hollis said something in the chat that a lot of people have questions about, and so do I. Hollis said, I had a similar thing happen to me where someone asked me about DDLG on the first date. I left
Daddy,
off-
daughter, little girl.
Oh, thanks, Maya.
Yeah,
No
you're-
problem. So daddy, daughter, little girl is just, it's a role play thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
We kind of get the context there, and I don't like it.
Yeah, but it's not literally a father and a daughter. It's people role
Yeah, no,
playing.
it's like a dom sub.
Yeah, two
but take
can-
it to
yeah.
more. It's like
two
an extension
consenting.
of
Yeah,
BDSM.
Sorry, daddy, dom, little girl. I always say that wrong.
Yeah.
Hollis, good call on running away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
Yep. Got it. Okay, got it. Thanks
I
for
just-
explaining.
Ben, can I just ask, while as I reevaluate our marriage, did you have to Google that, or did you know that?
Wait, you didn't know that?
I
No,
didn't
what
know
it
that.
stood for.
I mean, I'm
What are you
aware of like the
done?
general concept of it, but I didn't know like
You didn't know the name.
I
abbreviation.
hadn't heard
Yeah.
that particular
Yeah,
acronym.
you can always rely on Miles to know all the degen
That's
things.
true.
It's very
I
true.
was
Yeah, that's why we
did
keep
you
him
not
around.
know, were you not on the
Ah,
deeper parts of Tumblr?
No, fuck Tumblr.
fair enough.
Oh.
No, I've never.
I
Been,
mean,
I
I've
was never
never
been on
known-
Tumblr. I just
Fair.
know that somehow.
I was on a lot of deep parts of the internet, but
I think
never
I probably learned that from like 4chan more than Tumblr, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Tumblr's a
Yeah.
horrible place, though. Anyway,
I feel
Age
like
play
my-
was a 0% for me on the BDSM test. I scored relatively high, unfortunately, on the age play thing. I was
boy.
not prepared for that.
Paula said it was
Whoa.
fucked on multiple levels. Besides the obvious, they were not in any way respecting my non-binary.
Oh, that's
well,
fucked up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that-
Would
that's
you-
also pretty
would
fucked
you
up.
be into
Oh,
parent
God.
dom?
Here, can you do
little
this for me?
child?
Can you do this for me? What? Right. That shit's whack.
Oh,
It's whack.
what the fuck was
very
that?
You ever seen that one?
guy.
No, that was
That was like a whole dating thing. Like basically, there was like some dating show. Like I remember on Nickelodeon way back in the day,
what?
and it was one of these things where it was like, here's a bunch of shit that's whack about like it was a Nick at Night segment. I remember.
it was one of Miles' insomnia.
Yeah, this is just
That's a deep cut.
This is a weird Miles thing.
Yeah.
No one can
Yeah.
relate to this.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's just whack.
moving on.
I think we have to bring Ben in to tell a legendary story.
yeah,
yes.
Ben's got a good one.
Oh boy.
The M in Miles stands for MILFs.
Jesus. I think we all know. I think everyone here knows the story that Ben is going to tell.
I don't
Actually,
think
Miles
Miles
doesn't.
I've
know
never
it.
heard this story now.
But we are going to. You guys are in for a fucking treat. You don't want to miss
This is a
this
good one.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a fucking nerd.
Tabarino, Ben. Oh wait, why did
He
you?
got
Ben?
banished back to the waiting room.
He got Australia.
I think he forgot how to unmute. Ben, are you fucking good?
Are you
You
good?
Are you fucking
Why does he
good?
keep leaving?
He keeps going back to the waiting room.
He
Maybe
doesn't
he's.
want to tell the story.
Okay, I guess.
Okay.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Hi,
you are.
there you are.
Hello.
Hi, bitch.
Sorry, I have to join myself because you made me a cool guy.
Oh, because of your
yeah,
permissions.
mod.
All right, might be.
Yeah.
How's it going,
Yeah.
fucker?
Sup?
It's okay.
How was
I just
brunch?
had brunch inside the restaurant because
Whoa.
there's no COVID in Perth.
Whoa.
Wow, couldn't be
fuck
us.
off.
Couldn't be us.
Hollis, thanks for joining us. Appreciate.
It's great to see you again,
support,
Hollis.
as always.
Bye,
Thank you for the
Hollis.
sub. We'll catch you next time. So, Ben, I think we all know what's coming here.
But
And
I much like Ratbag, I don't know what's coming here. So I'm ready to be enlightened
every 4
again.
minutes to tell Myles something that everyone else has heard 3 times.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn your volume.
Can I
up
get
a
one of
little
these?
bit.
Whack.
Can you talk again? Just
I regret that.
Hello.
okay.
Pizza pasta. Put it in a box.
Okay, that looks good.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
I can see why you guys are married, because that shit took you out. That's the funniest thing to you.
I know the end, to quote Phoebe Bridgers.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. So the story is, so for some context, when I was 18, I lived in Perth for about like 10 months.
Perth, Australia,
Before
for those who
starting
don't know.
college.
Yep, and you were very sad the whole time.
I was quite depressed the whole time, and so I spent a lot of time on the world's best
This
website.
accent's coming in strong.
And you lived with your parents because you were a baby.
Yeah,
So
I
you
lived with
had
my
no
parents. So I spent a lot of time at PokemonShowdown.com, where I'm still a global voice, if anyone knows what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it means you're a virgin. Keep
Please
going.
don't
Yeah,
explain.
this is who you're married to.
Okay.
I am aware.
That's an old IRC thing. Sorry, I'm a bit of a boomer.
You know.
Yep. I'm contemplating divorce options right now.
Contemplating,
That's
huh?
Anyway, continue
So-
your story.
So, a girl on this Pokemon website was just like, had heard I lived in Perth, like from people, and then like started talking to me a lot, and then eventually basically asked me out to hang out, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
We went to some shitty mall, I don't know, because I was 18,
remember?
and on a bus, like we went from one mall to somewhere else, and we got on a bus, and on that bus, she threw up on the floor of the bus because she gets nervous meeting people.
Aww.
I will
I feel
also
bad for her.
say, in her defense, Perth bus drivers made me nauseous on more than one occasion.
So yeah, so that bit's not so bad. Like I get it, I vibe with it. That's fine.
She had too much
Understandable.
pizza pasta from the box, yeah.
Yeah, but aside from all that, she was also very boring and like a bit annoying, and also like, you know, Australian. So I was like, well, I never want to see this person ever again, but I don't want to not go on this second date she's proposed, because then she'd feel like it's because she threw up, and I don't want to give her a complex maybe. So I like went on a pity second date. So
I would also like to add that the funniest part of this to me is that you had sex as a direct result of your activity on Pokemon Showdown.
Yeah.
that is true. That is true.
And that's
I
really
don't know
what-
how many
And
people
that
are
came
on the
after
website,
she
but I'm
puked.
That did come after she puked.
Yeah, that is.
Wait, Ben,
Wow.
did you hook up with her on the first or the second date? Is my question. I don't remember.
Second.
The second. So,
So
you
it
went
wasn't
on another
directly
pity
after
date.
she puked.
Did she
No,
puke
direct-
on the
she didn't
second
puke
date?
The second date either.
That's exciting.
Wow,
That's
Good for her.
It's improvement.
Yeah, that's
gross.
gross.
But she puked, you went on another date, and then you had sex with her, even though you met her on Pokemon Showdown.
Has to
Yeah,
be the
Pokemon
only
Show-
recorded time in history in which that's happened. The two individuals met on Pokemon Showdown and proceeded to have intercourse.
You know, I will say this much. I think you might be the nicest guy on the planet.
Yeah, that's that is a level of consideration and thoughtfulness that
That's like a sitcom, like...
I can't even describe it.
That's
know?
a Seinfeld episode. Like, I can just picture Jerry and George, like, debating the morality of, like...
Go out with her again?
Yeah. You can't go out with her again after she vomited. But what if she gets a complex? Like, I just...
Yeah.
I don't want to give a girl a complex. Who cares if you give her a complex?
I mean,
Thank you for the accent.
Hey, Toad!
Hey, Toad!
do you think she proceeded to like go out with other people and throw up and be like, "Oh, it's fine that I threw up on this date because of this one time"?
Oh, yeah, what if
it's
you
still,
enabled
like,
her? That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, whoa. What if it went the opposite direction, where you gave her a power complex, where she's like,
what if
I
she's
can
on a-
do anything on a
What if
date
she's
and
on
get
a
away
power
with
trip
it?
and she's like, I can poop on someone to establish my dominance. you know?
Dominance.
Dominant.
To establish my DDLG.
Maybe she developed a puke fetish after that.
no.
Maybe it's like water sports, but it's like chunky sports.
Chunky
Oh,
Sports.
Jesus.
Yeah, shout out. His name is Chunky.
No.
And he is dead.
Shut it down.
Wow, I should wear my purity ring again.
Yep.
I shouldn't have really said
Finally,
I don't
he's
think I
here
should've
for
said that out
you.
loud.
He's the last member of the DK crew.
While
First.
Ben's here, I think we should tell our joint worst date story.
Yeah, no, let's hear that one.
Yeah, your double date story.
Real quick, we went on a really, really bad double date. Ben, if you're still here and remember any of this, because I honestly have blocked it out.
I totally blocked this out of my mind. I just remembered the ramen was acceptable, and I remember walking around DC, and I remember a lot of grumpy faces.
This is true.
That sounds like most of DC, though.
Yes, this is true. But we went on a double date with my friend Mar and their boyfriend at the time, whose name was Marlon. I don't remember his last name, but
Wait, your friend's name was Mar?
Yes.
Marlon.
And
oh, my friend's name was Mar. They went by a different name back then, so we didn't get to make any funny jokes.
Wait,
about
Marlon like the fish?
Marlon like the fish.
I was thinking the
Oh,
same.
so
was
at
the
the time
boyfriend.
their names were not both Mar.
No.
Okay, that was
So
what I
my
was
friend
saying.
now goes by Mar, and the person they were dating is named Marlon, like the fish. So we now refer to him as Fishhole McAssface.
Okay.
We went on a date because Ben was visiting for Christmas, and so we all went to DC because they went to college like locally. So we all like lived in the same place. So we all went to DC, and like we were gonna go like ice skating at like the Portrait Gallery outdoor skating rink, and then like go to some museums and like have ramen. It was gonna be a nice day, and like all the three of us besides Fishhole McAssface were all friends. So like we're all just like, oh, this is gonna be fine. It's gonna be chill. And my friend Mar was like, oh yeah, I want you to like tell me what you think of this guy. Like tell me if like you have a good vibe about him, because we've been friends since like freshman year of high school. And we get on this date, and it was okay for a little bit. And then we get to the ice rink. He just suddenly decides he deeply does not want to go ice skating, which is like fine. But he was kind of throwing a little piss baby fit about it the entire time. We were like, okay, cool. We won't go ice skating. So we walked to the National Gallery, which is like a 15-minute walk away. And we enter the museum. This entire time, he's refused to say a word to any of us. I think on this double date, the boyfriend said approximately, like 10 words to us?
Oh, yeah. Not more than that.
Not more than that. The date was just us on a date and Mar just, like, hanging out with us. And the boyfriend just, like, grouchily 10 steps behind us. And then Mar would occasionally go over and be like, hey, and, like, try to, like, talk to him and, like, try to make him feel better. We went to like 2 different museums and all just like the 3 of us went on like tangents and just like talked, and I honestly forgot he was there like 6 different times until we got ramen and I realized we had to split the check 4 ways instead of 3 ways.
Oh God.
They broke up a week later.
Okay,
makes sense.
So,
Oh, that's a while.
That
Really?
checks out.
That took a long
honestly,
time.
way longer than it really should have been.
Yikes.
It's like taking a child with you and babysitting.
Yeah.
It really was.
I'm just
really
picturing.
like
I'm just picturing him strapped to one of those like baby harnesses,
Oh
like,
yeah,
on someone's chest.
that was kind of the vibe. I kept forgetting he was there, and I would like close my car doors, and then it would open, and I would panic, and I'd be like, "Oh, it's Marlon. He's here."
Yeah.
Yikes.
Also, imagine being named Marlon.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Imagine.
be me.
Yeah, like, imagine being named after a fucking fish.
Yeah.
Like,
Fucking celibate fish.
that's an asshole parent thing to do.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a really shitty parent
I
thing.
feel like
Honestly,
as a
it's like
parent,
Naming your kid Tuna and just
Yeah.
expecting them to have a
You
normal
have,
life.
like-
it's a regular
I
life.
think as like a parent, you have a responsibility to name your kid something not gross.
Something that'll age well. Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like Marlon is such an old person name.
Yeah.
You know, like there are
Yeah.
certain names like you don't name a little girl Barbara, like because
I
she
think
has to
that'd be
grow
really
into that
funny.
name.
Yeah.
She has to grow into that name.
No,
Or,
I
like,
aspire to have a daughter named Gladys. I think that'd be really funny.
Or okay, well, like for example, like Kelly is not a 50-year-old's name. That's the name of Barbie's sister. Like
yeah, that's true.
you grow out of Kelly. You grow into
Yeah.
Barbara. Like there are just some
I guess
Marlon's an old man name. It's
But
like
on
naming
the
someone
flip
Mervyn.
Side, there are also like old people with young people names, and it's very unsettling.
That's true.
Like
That's kinda
70-year-olds
true.
named Ryan. That's weird.
Ryan is like a young
You know?
person's name, yeah.
Or
Brad.
Yeah, or like Aiden as like a
Oh, like
90-year-old.
Aiden Pierce, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine an old Chad.
Yeah.
Sorry, unrelated. What the fuck is going on in the chat
Yeah,
right
what's
now?
happening?
People talking about stepping on each other. Where did our chat go
Where did we
wrong?
go?
How did our chat get steered away from God's light like this?
Oh no, this is the Harvard student.
Oh no,
He's here.
Alex.
Hello?
Yeah, old lady's named Stephanie. Oh yeah, that's an
that's a
interesting
good one.
That's a good one.
Well, we'll keep Ben on just because
Anyway.
no one's in the waiting room
Hi,
anyway.
Ben.
But
Yeah.
hi, Ben.
But I want to defend not having a bed frame properly.
Okay, I understand your point, but it was still funny that you went from having a bed frame to not having a bed frame. You have to admit that that's funny.
Okay, it is quite funny. I do want to say that when I got this free queen mattress, this like $800 incredible mattress for free, the guy said he would take it back. And then I left the house it was in, and the person who was taking over my room, I was like, "Hey, do you want a free mattress?" And she was like, no. And I'm like, just lie in it. It's really nice.
It is
It's
really
almost
nice.
brand new. And she was like, this actually slaps, and you're giving this to me for free? And I'm like, yes, but if somebody comes here and they say, I want that mattress back, you have to give it to them.
That's the caveat.
You know, I think that's fair.
But Ben, you did have it for nearing 2 years without ever getting a queen mattress frame.
There was no good time to buy a queen mattress.
Okay, I
was
feel
using
like-
bed
Let's
frame.
just say you're lucky you were in a relationship at
Yeah,
the time.
I feel like though in college it's more acceptable.
I
to
don't
be
know.
No, it's
like-
not. It's never acceptable
No,
not to have a
okay,
bed
it's never
frame.
acceptable.
Yeah, I had
But
a bed frame in
in
college.
college. It's not acceptable, but it is more like, oh, you're here for like a year at most.
Yeah,
you
and I
know,
will
in
say
this
my
apartment.
bed
But a bed frame is also like $20 if you buy a cheap one.
That's true.
Yeah,
My
or you
bed
could just get a
frame-
furnished apartment already.
Dating a 25-year-old who went from having a bed frame to no bed frame, that was a surreal experience. let me
My
say.
bed frame in college was the futon and futon bed frame that my dad had in college, so I can't really judge anybody, to be fair.
Yeah, I did get my bed frame in college off of Facebook Marketplace.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but like at least you
$40.
got one, right?
Yeah,
Like that's what I'm saying.
I
It's
did.
like-
I did say like I cannot have a bed on
Ben,
the floor.
you could have
know?
gone to that thrift store down the street and gotten like a
I
$20
could've.
bed frame.
You could have gone to any
The-
like buying
the-
and selling Facebook group. Like, there are
Liz,
people
you're
who just
forgetting the
gave
worst
away.
part of the bed frame thing, though, is that
What?
because I thought my mattress might be
Are you
taken
gonna
away,
slander
I
me?
still kept my old mattress.
Oh,
The only
yeah.
place to put it was stood straight up right next to the bed. And
Yeah.
occasionally, it would fall over onto Liz
I
in the middle of
forgot.
the night.
Sometimes I would wake up at like 3 a.m. to a twin-size mattress on my face.
Ben, did you ever consider putting one mattress on top of the other?
Well, then-
Yes, I'm sure that would be comfortable.
Yeah,
putting a
one of
twin
us would have
mattress
been
on top.
here.
Yeah, it would have been like.
I mean,
Wait.
who really need like? Would you really need to sleep like next to each other at that point? Like, you got a nice $800 mattress.
Boomer Jungle asked, "Is it really that common for people to like not have a bed frame?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is relatively common.
Yes, it is.
Especially if you have a
Oh, I
futon.
slept on the floor.
I mean, we went to.
Especially if you have a tendency to have sex with straight men.
If you have a tendency to buy more drugs than you do like furniture because that's your writing process, then no, you're never gonna have any money. You're not gonna be able to afford a bed frame.
Yeah, we also went to an art school in a
Yeah.
like very
which is what I was. Yeah,
a very college city. You
Yeah,
know, like
we-
half of
yeah.
the population of Boston is
Boston
college
is
kids.
pretty-
Also,
so it's
because
like-
it was such a college city, you could buy a bed frame for super
You could
cheap.
walk onto
Like,
the street and
there
find
was
a bed
very
frame.
little excuse to not
Yeah,
have a
people
bed
would just
frame.
leave them on the
Yeah.
fucking curb.
Yeah, I
Because
left
they
mine
just
on the
moved
curb. I told
somewhere
Katie
else.
to throw it out the window,
Yeah.
which I think
Yeah.
she
I
did.
think I left mine for Kyle and Katie.
Yeah.
But it was also like a $40 frame. I'm not complaining, you know?
cares?
Like, but I still had a frame.
That's what I'm saying. It's such a small investment.
Yeah, Ben.
Anyway,
Ben, I could have done with at least not having to wake up to a mattress on top of me while I was sleeping on one. That would have been nice.
That's valid.
Though I guess in payback, I did spill a lot of glasses of water into the mattress because you didn't have a bed frame and I'm clumsy.
Yikes.
And you desperately need to drink water at 3 a.m.
Don't you?
I think
Everyone?
Yeah,
I do
get
actually,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who here goes to bed without having a glass of water next to
No,
them?
it's got to be there. You
I will
gotta
yeah,
say
have
that's a
glass
serial
water.
killer thing to do.
Yeah.
there is
What?
a
You
No,
don't-
to go to bed without like
Oh
water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what if
Yeah.
you get
What if you
randomly
wake up
like?
thirsty?
What if you need hydration?
Yeah.
You know,
Bitch.
I will say something. Having two mattresses is beneficial.
Yeah.
You have one mattress for sleeping on, then you have one for water sports.
Fair enough.
No, you can just go to Home Depot. For
No,
that.
no,
just get a
$20
no.
Because then if you ever need to go back to the toilet,
I actually used mine for a much more cursed reason, which was for baffling audio because I do music.
Right, that makes sense.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Very lame.
the fact that anyone ever walked into your house and had sex with you was a fucking miracle.
That was you.
The fact that was you.
That was you.
I think real quick.
You're welcome.
I mean, I'm still open to taking more calls if anyone is out there. If you want to call in and tell us your cursed stories about your dates or relationships or whatever, just type !call into the chat. I think before we go, Myles and I should each tell a story.
Yeah.
You want to go first then?
I'll quickly.
I'll head out then, boys.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining
Have
us.
fun in Australia with your 0 cases.
Yeah, have fun getting to go places.
Yeah, cringe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to a bar and drink a beer, and then lick a door handle and make out as a bartender.
At least I can say beer right, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, at least we can say shit normal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a beer. Fuck you.
I'm gonna chuck back the pints with my friends Stevo and Bazza.
What?
My friend's bed frame and doorknob.
Oh Jesus!
No.
Bye, Ben.
All right,
See
tell your
later.
Bye,
stories.
Ben.
All right.
Fuck off.
I don't have any all of my stories are either things that I can't tell on a stream or things that are kind of bad but more just funny. So I guess I'll tell one of those. This wasn't necessarily a bad date, but it was a really unusual, weird situation.
I'm currently taking bets in my brain as to which one this
Yeah.
is.
You'll know immediately.
There's a lot of them. I have a theory on which one it's gonna be.
Just because this is such a... I'm probably forgetting a lot too, but this is the first one that comes to mind just because it's a
I
crazy
feel like
story.
unfortunately I might remember more than you.
Yeah,
I think
you probably
know
remember more of my bad
you know
Tinder
more
date
of
stories.
our
than-
date stories than we do.
Yeah, I have an excellent memory for things that don't matter.
Liz is
So-
the keeper of the lore.
Oh no.
This is the keeper of the
So I
secrets.
met this girl on
That's a whole
Tinder,
other
and I wasn't super lit on the idea of going on a date. It wasn't I wasn't opposed to it. It just wasn't something I was fuck yeah, I'm really excited about this one. But I decided to go anyway. And so I meet up with this girl. We just get a drink here in the neighborhood. It's fine. Not a super remarkable date in any kind of way whatsoever. I wouldn't have had much to say about it if some weird shit didn't happen afterwards. So I used to live on the other side of the area that we live in, and it was just there was no parking. And
This one.
yeah,
It's all clicked in our brains now.
yeah. Is this the one you were thinking I was going to tell, or is there something?
it's not the one I
was
thought you were gonna
between
tell.
this and your post scooter story.
I was thinking it was the scooter story, yeah.
Scooters?
The
When you
girl,
broke your fucking face.
The girl who you saw after you broke your face and she brought you ramen.
Oh yeah, no, I feel bad telling that.
Yeah,
one.
that one's
Yeah.
that
that
one's
was-
worse.
that's
I thought
a
it was
nice
50-50 in my head between car girl and ramen girl.
Yeah. So this
no,
is
I
Car
feel
Girl's
Car
story.
Girl's like a good go-to.
Car Girl's
Yeah.
excellent.
Anyway, so there's no parking by my apartment, but we weren't at my apartment. We were getting drinks nearby, and there was also no parking at the place that we were going.
There's
to.
no parking in Koreatown.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of parking in Koreatown, and so I lived right across the street from this small little shopping. You could barely call it a shopping plaza. Everything closed at 8 p.m. and so I would
Strip
often.
mall, but it was one block wide.
Yeah, it was really tiny. Only had room for maybe 6 cars in the place. But when all the businesses would close at the end of the day, it would be really quiet. Thank you, Ben,
Airbucks indeed, Benjamin.
Thank you, Ben, for revealing in the chat exactly what building I live next to. It's okay. I no longer
Well, they
live
moved,
there.
so
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
one
I
knows.
also no longer live there, so it's no big deal. But yeah, it was
Some of you are cool. Don't go to Hairbucks tomorrow.
basically there was a very small parking lot right across the street from my building, and I would always have people park there after hours because no one was around. And so I had the girl. She drove to the bar and she was like, "Oh, there's no parking here," and I was like, "Oh, if you drive one more minute down the road, there's this one little lot across the street from my house. It's fine. I have people park there all the time." And so she's like, "Okay." So she parks there. We go to the bar, we have our drink or whatever. It's yeah, whatever. It was fine. And then I walk her back to her car. It's pretty clear that nothing more than that is going to happen. This is our first time meeting each other, and I don't think either of us were super lit on it. I don't know. At least I don't remember it that way.
Well, she was
Anyway. So I walk her, or we're walking back, and then all of a sudden we get back to the parking lot, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "My car's not here." And I was like, "Oh,
I actually don't know this story.
Oh
Really?
no!"
No, I know.
Come to find out,
Ben.
Ben, I think this was after you left, maybe.
It was.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was before you left. You heard this.
I vaguely remember hearing this in a booth at HMS.
Yeah. So we come back, we find out her car's been towed, and I was genuinely really shocked at this. I used to, can't say this enough. I used to have people park in this parking lot on a weekly basis.
Can
at
I
least, a couple times a
interrupt
week.
you against your point?
Sure.
You told me to park there once, and Nick and Chris to park there once, and both of us on the same night got our cars towed, and then I told you about it.
I was blackout drunk. That was at a party.
It was not at a bar. It was not at a party. It was when you were editing our film.
I was blackout drunk. I'm not kidding. I do remember
you were
you know what the problem? You know what the problem is? I think that makes you the bad.
It was 6 p.m., Dan.
No, I hadn't slept in like a week. I remember that. There was some reason I hadn't slept in a week. Okay.
Yes. So Ben's getting ahead of the story.
Yes. So when I told this story to Liz afterwards, she reminded me that this had happened to her, but I don't remember her ever telling me that. I'm pretty sure I was blackout drunk when she told me that because I had people park in that parking lot as like recently as days prior. Like maybe just a couple days earlier, I had a friend over and park in that lot. So I was like totally shocked that she got towed. I'd never seen this happen to anybody.
And also Nick got towed.
To my awareness. I had never seen this happen to anybody. So basically she's like freaking out. She's like, oh shit, I have to go to work in the morning. I really need my car. And I was like, oh fuck. So like we find the phone number for the towing company. It's like on a wall nearby. And we call it. And she's like, do you have my car? And the guy's like not answering her. And she's like, hello, do you have my car? And he's like, who is this?
Can confirm that guy is not a nice person.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm calling because I think my car got towed. Do you have it? And he's like, I don't know who you are. And she's like, I saw this phone number on a wall and it said, call if you get towed. I think my car's been towed. Do you have my car? And he's like, oh, yeah. And then like 10 minutes later, he's like, yeah, we have your car. And she was like, can I come get it now? And he was like, no, not for another 2 hours. And so we were like...
Still don't understand.
Yeah, we were like, all right. And so we were like, well, now what? I think it's like maybe 11 p.m. at this point. He's telling us we can't come by until like 1 a.m. It's like a Tuesday night. He's like, you can't get your car back until 1 a.m. So I'm like, I mean, I don't really know. Like, do you want to... Maybe we go wait in my apartment? I guess we could like have another drink or something. And she's like, sure. And so she comes inside and she was like, I wasn't planning on coming over. Like, I wasn't like thinking this was going to be what our first
really like you that much.
Date was like. And I was like, yeah, like, I'm sorry. Like I felt really bad. Like I genuinely did not expect this to happen. I really didn't. And so whatever, we're hanging out. We have another drink. We've got 2 hours to kill anyway. Push comes to shove. You can probably imagine what happens here.
Gotta kill some time.
We had to kill some time and, we found a way to kill some time, but right as we were about to get to that, she's like, she was like, did you plan all of this?
Valid question.
I had to like take a step back and I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, listen, I am so sorry. I can totally see where I would look like a fucking lunatic in this scenario. But I promise you on God, I had no idea this would happen. If you want to like leave and run away right now, I don't blame you because I probably look like a fucking serial killer telling you to park in this lot where you instantly got towed and insisted that wasn't going to happen. I felt very bad about this.
Okay, the truth is that
I think the funny part of the story though, is that makes Dan the bad date.
Yeah,
that's
right.
True.
I was the bad date. This is nothing.
Yeah.
This is nothing wrong with her.
As a woman who
you're a
has
woman?
a tendency to
Oh my God! What?
As a woman who has a bad tendency to date straight men, like that's a valid thing. Like
100%.
Yeah,
I know it's a
I am
real
not judging her for feeling that way.
Yeah.
In fact, I was like, listen, I'm on your side here.
Yeah.
Like, I look like a lunatic, so
yeah,
I would not be offended if you wanted to just run away and not trust me right now, because I look like a fucking psychopath.
You look like the villain in that situation.
Yeah.
With the extra bonus that you should have known that her car could have gotten towed if you ever listened to the words that I said.
Well, why would I ever fucking listen to you
Exactly.
speak?
So this all could have been avoided if you
It's so funny because she speaks when she's not on the show.
Shut the fuck
but
up,
then when
Myles.
she's on the show, she never says anything.
I've been
Anyway,
saying
so-
a lot of words.
Yes.
So she was like, whatever.
Yeah, because you're in
I
your
get-
element. This episode is
Anyway,
about
Hey,
miserable
let me
experiences.
finish
the
shut the
story.
fuck up. I'm
Anyway,
finishing the story.
Stop roasting me.
Anyway, so she was like, whatever, I guess I'll trust you. Like, I don't know. We met on a dating app, but we found out we had a mutual friend. So she like kind of, I guess, assumed that
Kind of fair.
I think had enough information about me at that point to assume that I wasn't actually a serial killer. And so she decided to trust me. We found a way, let's just say, we found a little activity to pass the time doing. And so we did that. And then
water sports.
Yeah, and then we went. No, wait, no, not that. And then so we were like, all right, it's about 1 a.m. Whatever, we should go. And then we Google where the place is, and we find out the place that towed her car. Even though we're nowhere near here at all, I have no idea why.
2.5-ish miles away.
Yeah, really far from where we were at this point.
Million tow places.
This place was in the deepest heart of Skid Row.
Right in the middle.
Even if you don't live in LA, you've probably heard of Skid Row, one of the famous, like, most dangerous places in the country.
You don't want to be walking around at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
It's
not ideal.
It's basically an abandoned...
Especially when you have $400 of cash in your pocket to pay this.
Yeah, they
fucking
also
tow man.
told us up front that they only take cash.
Yeah.
And so we had to go to an ATM, withdraw about $400. And
it's
then
an overpriced
go
tow.
to literally one of the most unsafe places to be in the country. It's basic. If you've never heard of Skid Row, it's like it's basically an abandoned part of downtown, where it's just like a lawless land.
You
like,
want to get shanked.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's the original Chaz.
Yeah, it's it's fucked up.
When we got
there.
towed, our Uber dropped us off, and there were like 4 of us, and the Uber driver was like, "Are you sure this is where
they did the
you're
same
going?"
thing to us. We called an Uber. He takes us there, and he's like, "This is the address that you gave us?" And I was like, "I guess it is." Yeah, and he's like, Are you guys really sure you want to get out here? He's like, he's looking around, he's looking at the clock, seeing it's like 1:30 in the morning, like looking around, seeing we're in the heart of Skid Row.
He like for sure thought you guys were buying heroin.
Yeah, and I was like...
At 2 a.m. the chuds
Also,
climb out of the manhole.
There's no sign for this tow place. It's just like a
we
gate
had to,
and a long alleyway.
We had to go
into the dark.
Go into a dark alleyway to find this place. So this girl and I... Fuck.
That's how dark the alleyway was.
Yeah,
That's what you did.
This girl and I walk into this dark alleyway in Skid Row at 1 a.m, and there's just a like wooden like slatted door that we knock on it, and no one comes, and we're just standing there, and I'm like, I mean, we live in a part of LA that you could consider to be not safe at night, but like, you know, I don't have problems over here because, you know, unfortunately a dude who doesn't look like I could easily be mugged that easily.
I carry a taser when I go to 7-Eleven.
I've wandered the streets, but I'm also very stupid.
Oh, don't tell Dan you carry a taser.
Fuck off. So basically, like, I'm not usually worried in these situations, but like, trust me, like, there were dudes like walking by and like eyeing us while we were in the alleyway.
Yeah,
like,
they look you up and down.
They knew that we were there with money because that's the only reason we would be there is with cash to pay for a car, and like people around the area knew that. And so we were getting like fucking eyeballed, and no one was answering us, and we were just stranded there alone.
In Skid Row, that's called grocery shopping. It's called window shopping.
Very fair.
Yeah, and so finally this dude comes, and he's like, oh wait, no. So no one answered, and then we called the number, and then this dude, while we're calling it, like no one's answering, this dude comes down the alleyway, and he starts yelling at us. He's like, hey! Like really aggressively, and we were like, oh shit. Like I was like trying to ignore him, just trying to like block the girl, make sure like whatever. And he's like yelling at us. He won't stop. He's like, hey. And I turn around. I'm like, what's up, dude? And he's like, you looking for the guy? And I'm yeah. I'm like, I think so, yeah. And he's like, follow me. And he just walks away into the darkness. And I just look at the girl and I'm like, I think we have to follow this man.
It's not a fucking quest.
And so we follow him like...
You didn't have to follow the man.
We follow him like, no one's answering.
Fair.
And he knew that we were there looking for someone, so I was like, I guess we'll try.
I also knew you were there with $400.
And I wasn't going to leave the girl alone, so I was like, all right,
Yeah.
let's go follow him and just get ready to run or
It's
something.
actually an
I don't
excellent
fucking know.
scam, don't you think?
Yeah,
right?
well, then we walk just a minute or so, and he brings me up to this car, and there's a car running, and a dude is just passed out asleep in the front seat. And the car's just running, like fully on, engine on and everything, and it's like fucking steaming out the back. I thought this dude was dead.
You thought he was trying to kill himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to kill himself because he was out.
He was, yeah.
So the guy that walked us over there starts banging on the window. He's like, hey, they're here. Hey, man, they're here. And the guy just passed the fuck out. He's just like totally zonked, not waking up. The guy's like screaming at him, banging on his window. He's like, hey, man, they're here. Hey, they're here. And then we're just standing there like, what the fuck is going on? And finally, the guy in the front seat wakes up and he's like, who are you? And I was like, we're here to get a car. Her car got towed. And he's like, oh, yeah. And then he like kind of halfway falls back asleep, and we're like, hello, can you help us with the car? And he's like, yeah, just give me a second. And then he's just laying there, not doing anything. And then, like, a minute later, he gets up and he's like, all right. He turns off his car, and then the dude who walked us over there, he hands him, like, $1, and then that guy walks away.
Whoa.
I think he was paying this dude to wait up for us and let us know where he was.
So that he could nap.
Yeah. I guess so that he could nap. I don't fucking know.
Actually tracks, because when I went, we had to knock like 10 different times until he showed up at the fucking window. And that was like 10 p.m.
Yeah, he like paid this guy to like stand there and watch for him, give him a heads up when we came, I guess. I don't know. So he's like, all right, come on. He like runs over there and just like fucking ignores us. We're like, okay. And he like goes around back. And we're like, do you take cards? Because we like didn't want to take out all the cash that we brought. And he's like, we're not supposed to, but whatever, I'll take your card. And I was like, all right. And I felt really bad, so I gave him my card. It was mostly my fault anyway. And so he takes my card, and then he shuts the window. And on God, we're standing there for what had to be. It probably wasn't exactly like 15 minutes, but it felt like it. He had my card for so long, to the point where it was uncomfortable, where I was like, and it was like not a window he like shut this door, he had like this makeshift
there were 2 doors.
Door. Yeah, and like I couldn't see what he was doing. He could have just taken my credit card and ran away.
Yeah.
For all I knew. Like the amount of time he was gone, I was like, I think he just ran away with my credit card. Like, we're fucked. And so I start knocking on the door again, and he's like, what? And I'm like, you good in there, bro? It's been a while. And he's like, yeah, I'm working on it. Another like 5 minutes pass. Like, this dude has had my card for so fucking long. He finally opens the window, he gives it back to me, and then he's like, all right, here's your key. Or no, he was like, he like gave us a key to like open a door or something. He was like, just go in there, your car's there. And we were like, okay, can you like leave the door open for us so we can drive out? And he was like, yeah, you got 2 minutes. And we were like, well, fuck, okay. So we ran, and then we were like running around the small parking lot, like, where's your car? We only have 2 minutes.
The Super Metroid, like, the Super Metroid countdown in the background that just says Planet Zebs is exploding.
God. Bergs, you missed a lot of
bum, 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 bum,
yeah, the timer's just like running down.
Yeah.
Hi, Parks, thanks for joining us. Yeah, you did miss a lot here.
You're speed running to escaping this building.
Yeah, so then we finally find her car, and we're like,
it's like a Last of Us set piece.
We're like running to get it. We like barely get out in time. And now we're driving around alone at this point it's almost 3 a.m. in Skid Row. Like the sun's getting close to coming up, and she's got work in a few hours. I think I probably did too. It was like a Tuesday night. And so she drives.
Why did you go out with someone on a Tuesday?
We was just getting a drink at like 9 p.m. and then it turned into this whole thing.
Yeah, then it turned into a nightmare.
If you remember, she was trying to leave at we were trying to part ways at about 11 p.m.
Fair.
Which is not that crazy for a Tuesday.
I'm pretty sure every Resident Evil game takes place on a Tuesday. No one expects these things to happen.
Like, I don't know. I feel like I saved going out for like Wednesday till like Sundays?
Yeah, no, Tuesday off limits. No, Wednesday, though.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off limits.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Well, anyway, then she drives me back to my place, and she decides to stay over, which was scary because I thought she was going to try to park and she like made a joke about parking in the lot again, and I was like, "Wait, are you kidding?"
That would actually be very funny.
She didn't. She was like joking, but she wasn't very good at joking, and so I kind of took it seriously. And I was like, "Oh no!" And she found some street parking, decided to stay over. I think I lived a little bit closer.
Her work was closer.
Yeah, I think her work was closer to me anyway. So like, whatever. It was fine. And then the next day, she was a very nice person, no hard feelings or anything, but like the next day she started like texting me about like all of her life traumas and stuff, and I was like, this is just a lot.
You did go out with her several more times after that. I would like the chat to know.
Yeah.
I mean, after all that, how could you not?
That was what that was actually what I said to Liz. I remember telling Liz this story, and I was like, I wasn't planning on going on a second date with this person, but after we went through that experience together, I felt like I owed her a second date.
I mean, is this a date or is it trauma bonding?
You did a bend.
I did do a bend.
Yeah, it is exactly like Puke Girl.
You want her to have a complex.
The chat agrees with me. Once you go through something like that together, what am I going to do, ghost her after we had this insane near-death experience together?
Yeah, no, Maddie and I have discussed trauma bonding is the most uncomfortable thing you can subject anybody to. Do not do it. Don't do it. It's not cool. It's not cool.
I don't know. I fully ghosted someone after getting stranded in the Angeles National Forest with them, and like, I don't feel bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel bad either.
Yeah. Like, fuck that.
Myles, do you want to tell yours real quick before we head out? It has been a long stream.
I don't know how quick I can do this, but I can try.
Speed through.
Yeah, no, that means no interruptions.
Well, that means I also before we don't.
Oh, you can go back to not talking like you do every episode.
Shut the fuck up. You want to ride home, bitch?
Well, that's the nice part too, is that no one else was really here for this besides Dan, so we won't have a ton of interruptions.
Wait, Liz, what were you gonna say
I wanted to say before Myles goes, another stream. Then we have to tell the Alan story.
Oh,
of Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan.
Another day we need to tell the story.
Morgan's got that's such a big story that I think
isn't that big? I think
next
at this point
I don't have the song prepared. I didn't have time to prepare.
I feel like at this point I've condensed it into a quick 4.5 minutes.
I think at the start.
You want to try that?
I want to
try.
The thing is, I want to save it for another stream because I want to have the song ready. So basically,
I think at the start of our next stream,
some
we need
context.
to tell it.
The first ever real date I went on. First ever Tinder date I went on, first ever like person I really truly went out with. I wasn't like a high school like, hey, I like you, so let's walk to class together kind of thing. Ended up writing an 11-minute trap song about me.
Oh, Jesus.
After their first date.
After our first date.
That is incredible.
It is, trust me when I say a masterpiece, but I think we should save it for another.
You're right.
Yeah, I agree.
I think at the beginning of our next stream, I think Morgan just needs the floor.
I think maybe just a cold open, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Maybe we're going to do a Halloween stream next week, so keep an eye out.
Oh, scary story.
Oh, scary. That's a truly
For sure it's a scary story.
I have
Ben's
literally
right,
4
it was
costumes.
Neo Soul.
As like a Ben is right. It wasn't trap. It was Neo Soul.
Agreed.
And you know, as a cathartic
High art is
little
what I would call
processing thing, I did write a series of essays based on this.
And also, we made a short film describing the experience. We did.
Oh yes, we did make a short film
for your writing class final.
I wrote a 4,000 word essay about it, and then a short film, and then a retrospective about that piece.
Hey Morgan, sounds like you guys were a perfect fit.
Yeah,
you know,
really
probably.
I think we got to save this story for another time. Though. I think Myles real quick runs through this story because this is a powerful tale.
I was about to say, this is we're ending off strong. This is a powerhouse, and it's unfortunate. I think Megan is not here for this. We'll have to send her the VOD.
Yes, Megan
she is absolutely here for this.
Hello,
Fuck yes.
Megan.
Okay, because all right, I'm dedicating this one to Megan because Megan was the roommate.
I don't
of the
know if
person.
Megan wants this dedicated to her.
Well, the story is amazing, so I'm dedicating the story, not the events of the story. So Megan was the roommate of a person whose name will not be uttered. She's a cursed demon, and if I say her name 3 times, she might appear.
She may just appear in front of us.
So basically, the thing is, the only thing I can explain is that she was a self-published author, and I found that out in the first 8 seconds of meeting her.
She
because
did
it was
this to everybody that she met.
Yeah, it was about the only thing that she had going for her in her life. So the thing is, she and I met, and she handed me a pamphlet for one of her books, and it had the picture of it. So we were discussing the 3 hack fraud premises of the apocalypse off stream. The first one is heroin addiction story. The second one is anything based off Joseph Campbell's monomyth, and the third one is sensual love story based on the 7 deadly sins. And thankfully, we happen to be number 3 right here. So she handed it to me, and she later told me the reason that she handed me this pamphlet is because she wanted me to have her name. But the thing is, she was relatively cute for a person with a horse face. So I So I was like, you know what? She horse face and horse laugh is the important thing. She had a horse laugh.
Bro, that's so cold.
Yeah,
that's so cold.
So anyways, this is mean, but she looks like a Muppet. It's kind of true. So anyways, so
I just walked into she looks like a Muppet. And
that's I didn't come here to witness a murder. I'm very sorry, everyone. My savagery's coming out. Anyways, so I was like, but she is pretty cute. She has a family. You can't flame her like this. I can flame her like this, and I have, and I will. But I thought that she was relatively cute. And the important thing to understand is that I actually hadn't dated in high school. My sisters were very very protective of me, and they were very judgmental of some of the girls that I liked. And they usually ended up being right. Like, a lot of the girls I was interested in just weren't good
did live in
fits.
Were they
Yeah.
right about this girl?
Well, they didn't know. Which that was the problem. I should have screened her, but so I didn't really date in high school. I hadn't gotten laid, of course. So like,
of course.
Well, so that was the thing. Like, the entire suite was like super excited, super jazzed that I found this girl who was into me. Like,
yeah. So I shared a room with Myles at this point.
Yeah. So
very soon after we first met, and we were all really like. Everyone who lived there were all really invested in getting Myles laid for the first time. He was very upfront with us right off the bat, like, "Hey guys, I've never like dated anyone, never been with anyone. I'm here in college. I'm ready to fuck." And we're like, "Fuck yeah, Myles."
I mean, that was our whole room.
Yeah,
this is
and
true.
yet we were still so cursed.
Everyone was on board with this, and everyone else had already had sex, or most of them were already in relationships at that point. Like, 3 of them came in with relationships. Date 1 went okay. I basically just like talked to her most of the date, and we kind of discussed things. But there were a few red flags that I should have picked up on. Like, the first one is that she had an irrational hatred for good books. She just had this irrational hatred of The Great Gatsby. She had an irrational hatred. Yeah, she had an irrational hatred of like Catcher in the Rye, like things that people.
Oh, when you said great books, I was like expecting like Infinite Jest, you know?
Yeah, well, like these books that everyone is like the universal acclaim.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're like the indie boy books that you're like.
I don't really read books. I don't really have like those.
But
Yeah.
like, who
That's true.
reads a Great
The problem
Gatsby?
is she was a writing major, and Myles doesn't read.
I don't read books.
Continue.
I was never going to read her book.
Yeah, bad fit.
And I told her up front I was never going to read her book, just because I don't like reading. And so she had this weird disdain for like literature that everyone loves. But otherwise everything about her seemed okay. Yeah, it does count as a book. Yeah, great books like Infinite Jest, Murakami, and Watchmen. So date 2 was like okay. We held hands. She gave me a kiss, like, relatively normal. Date 3, it was time. It was time to go. Oh yeah, listen. Her first self-published book was a Lynx Club fanfic with the names changed.
It's true.
So I think she has the right to say the Great Gatsby is a piece of shit.
You know, you can roast me for writing fanfics. I never wrote a Wings Club fanfic.
That's true. You could have gone worse.
You claimed yourself as a self-published author.
Yeah, and I'm
every
kicking myself
class.
for that.
Yeah.
You know, like, why didn't I call myself a self-published author?
It might have gotten you a date with me, so I think that you're safe.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
very fair.
Yeah.
Fun of you.
Yeah.
Massive dub for Morgan.
Massive dub
Big
for you.
win.
So anyways, more fanfic content's definitely coming.
Yeah, at some point.
So anyways, so third date, that's when I finally, got kind of brave enough to be
Going
like,
in to seal the deal.
yeah, I was like, hey, you want to come back to my room? And I was pretty upfront, like, So I asked Dan to go out, and I remember Dan was like, oh yeah.
I was like,
Dan was
fuck
against
yeah,
it.
let's
Dan
go, dude.
Dan was so supportive.
I remember this vividly. I was just like hanging out in my room with my girlfriend, and I got a text, and I was like, Myles is gonna fuck, and we're both like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, no, Dan and his ex college ex were both very supportive of me.
Ecstatic that you were about to
Oh yeah, the greatest guy. Dan is the greatest
We were like
guy.
hanging in the living room, just like waiting for him to come in. We were like, "What's up, dude? How's it going?
Yeah.
Have fun, bro."
Everyone was so excited. Everyone was not prepared for
more
the crushing.
excited than you were, probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
no one was prepared for the crushing disappointment that was about to happen. So
For what was to come.
So we,
No,
one of the funniest images of my life was, so I immediately told all of our roommates, because we were all like really invested in trying to help Myles get fucked. And so, I was like, yo, guys, everyone, Myles is getting fucked. And we're like, fuck yeah. And so we all like wait in the living room for him to come in. Myles comes in with this girl, and we're sitting there like the council. Like, just like the TV's not on. Everyone's just in the living room, just like looking at each other like, welcome
That
back,
is so
Myles.
much worse, because this is like when I brought Ben back for the first time, and the council of everyone who lived on our floor was sitting in the common room. And they interrogated him.
This is way more fun than our system was, which was just text each other, "The Raven has flown."
This is true.
Which was such
I
cringe.
forgot about that.
It was such deep cringe. But when we all lost our virginities, because the 3 of us all came into college as like little babies, we all texted each other, "The Raven has flown," and like that's so bad.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Instead,
God,
we had
that's
like the meeting of the council.
No.
Like Myles comes in, and we're like,
yeah,
Myles, welcome home.
they look like
That's good to see you, brother.
They look like the bookmen from Princess Tutu, just like the cloaks in a circle. Like I take off my tuxedo coat and hand it to Joe, the concierge, hangs it up for me. Like I was like, I'll be in my abode, and everyone was like, yes, of course,
of course, sire.
Of course, sir. So we get in there, close the door, and immediately she goes, so what do you want to do? And she puts on like the sexy voice.
You can't put on a sexy voice.
Yeah, can you never put on the sexy voice again, please?
No, I will never put on the sexy voice. I do have to put it on for the story because there are some lines that need to be delivered.
I feel like it's illegal to put on the sexy voice if you've ever written fanfic.
Yeah, and she has. So,
but for this story, she requires the sexy voice.
Yeah. So I basically told her, I was like, all right, well, here's some things I'm like let's just feel it out. Let's just figure stuff out.
Gave her a list of options.
Yeah, I was like, let's just start. Let's just kiss. Let's just make out a little bit. So so the first kiss I got was on the cheek, very cute, very date, very very high school date like.
Close up on Myles.
Thank you so much. The second kiss though. Was the flattest experience I had because I think she's only seen kissing in movies and understood that it was lips pressed to each other, but that you weren't supposed to do anything, like make motions with the lips, use your tongue. She didn't comprehend that. I guess she didn't watch enough movies. She didn't watch closely enough. So she basically just pressed her lips against mine, and I slipped my tongue in because I knew what to do.
Just like
this. Yeah, big animated kiss energy.
You would be surprised how many people still kiss like that. At
Yeah,
this age.
a lot of people don't know.
So I don't understand.
I kind of knew what to do, so I took over from there. And I was like, I slipped her some tongue. I kind of guided her on what to do.
Oh, Ben, I could tell some fucking tales right now.
So at this point, things were going very south, very fast, but they could only go souther, and so they
Literally.
did. So yeah, so the thing is, so she starts to unbutton my shirt, and so she gets about 2 buttons down, and then she goes like a cat.
Wait, can you
please do that again?
Can you please do it again? A little bit louder, just so it picks up on the mic.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, bring them. Yeah.
Okay, give him the mic.
I still get shivers down my spine when Myles describes this.
It
haunts
brings out
me
my
to this
gag
day.
reflex.
Yeah.
It haunts me.
So she does that and then continues to unbutton me, and I was like, great. I thought I was gonna get my dick sucked because what you do, you unbutton the shirt, and then she did this thing that she definitely saw in a film, where she kissed my neck. And she kept getting lower and lower, and of course the idea is you kiss lower and lower and lower until you get to the dick, and you put it and you suck it off.
Sure.
Well, you suck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, but the thing is,
progression. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just the imagery
of the penis falling off. Yeah. Just like Kirby. No.
Slurp. I just want to be more of a slurping sound or more of a popping sound, like more of a.
Please continue the story. Please continue the story.
Just comes unlatched.
Oh god.
Yeah. Little.
No.
Gluck 1000. Gluck 10,000.
It's like breaking a suction,
Yeah. Oh, it's like when you pull a plunger out of like you shoot a dart at the wall.
Please continue the story.
Pull a plunger
I really
out.
need the story to continue.
We need to
But
finish
damn,
this.
the story only gets worse.
It does. Yeah, we are continuing. So anyways, so basically at this point she does that, but the thing is she doesn't realize that she has to follow through. So she stops around the upper part of my chest. And I was like, well, that sucked and did nothing for me.
Oh, it sure did suck.
And then, it didn't suck, actually. That was the problem. So then she tried to, weren't you going to the bar for, that was not the case, no, unfortunately. We were
18 at the time.
So anyway, so
Ben.
That's true, he did say that. So then she decides to do another bedroom language kind of thing that she saw in a movie but clearly misunderstood. So she pushed me over, and I willingly was like, okay, I fell back.
That you made.
Yeah, she very softly pushed me over, like this, and like Giorno Giovanna pose.
She cast a spell.
And I decided to fall back just to humor her, and then she straddled with her hands like this, all fours, arms and legs.
I call it the froggy pose.
Yeah, the froggy pose, and she just goes
ribbit
meow. And starts cat crawling, but like horror movie cat crawl, so her paws are tucked inward,
Oh.
and she's crawling at me like Linda Blair.
Literally like The Grudge.
Yeah, she's crawling at me like Linda Blair, and eventually she just like straddles over me and like kisses my neck again. And at some point, it gets to this point where all we did was kiss in very different and awkward positions that she has certainly written about, but did not understand the logistics of and what they were actually supposed to do. I've never been less hard in my life. And so at this point I was like, hey, it's getting late. It was like 8:45. It's getting late. You wanna call it a day? And she was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so I take her out, and I remember thinking, I was like, oh my god, we have nothing to talk about. We have nothing in common. And she is the worst at everything she has ever attempted, including writing. Yeah,
Myles. So mean.
And the other problem too, she just had a really ugly laugh, and it didn't help when she tried to do a sexy laugh, because her laugh normally was like, so that was how she laughed every time. So when she tried to do it sexy, she went like that. Like a doll in a horror movie, like Maiden of Black Water.
Can we just acknowledge that Megan said this girl wrote a self-published book about me?
Yes, whoa. I think she was shit talking you in the book too, wasn't she? If I remember correctly.
Whoa.
This tracks, but also
did she do the cat thing in the book too?
This is a good question.
Just to give my perspective on how I saw this happen from my angle,
Yeah.
I'm just sitting in the living room just waiting. And, like, you know, after Myles goes into his room, like, everyone goes their separate ways. And at this point, it's just me. And I think my girlfriend was still there, too. And we're just sitting on the couch just, like, you know, kind of, I think we're, like, watching TV or something. Just, like, waiting for the room to be open
mega
again.
Cringe.
And, a surprisingly short amount of time passes. And then Myles, like, very quickly walks past us and, like, kind of like looks at me on the way out, and then he just like leaves with the girl, and we were like, that didn't look good. Yeah. And then he comes back like a little while later, and we're like, Myles, what happened, dude?
So the thing is that I walk her up, and I remember saying, I was like, do you have like any interest in maybe learning some of the stuff I'm into? Like, do you like games or movies, like anything like that? She's like, no. And I was like, well, I'm really not like much of a book person. Like, do you have other interests? She's like, I like to write. And I was like, that's the same thing. I don't like books.
Okay, I don't trust any like writer who says they like to write.
Yeah.
No one likes to write. It's the worst thing ever.
As a literal like paid writer, I fucking hate writing.
Yeah,
sucks.
It sucks. It's my career,
it's
and I hate
disgusting.
And so we get to the door, and like I remember she tried to kiss me, and I like stopped her with my hand. I was like, "I'll see you later."
Freshman Morgan could have learned some lessons from you.
Yeah, like, but it was I didn't stop her with my hand. Like her kiss, her kiss like was coming at me, and I like blocked it with my hand.
The void, the dog.
It's like all right. It's like imagine you're coming in for a kiss, like, and I just block it so that you kiss the back of my hand.
God, I should have done that.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, bye. So I came back, and Dan, I think, is still kind of hoping that maybe it was just a quick go, like, you know, it was my first time, right?
Awkward.
I didn't like rule out any possibilities at this point.
Yeah, so he was still Evo Moment 27.
Myles is parrying.
Yeah.
Can we just acknowledge Megan saying it was a Christmas-themed story in which I fell in love with her college crush?
I have a question, Myles.
You were the Hallmark frenemy.
I was about to say, yeah.
Literally the Hallmark movie frenemy.
But because I've heard more tales about this girl, is the college crush in this story you?
I don't know. This is new info to me.
Well, Myles comes in, and I'm like, well, how'd it go, dude? What happened? And I just remember him saying to me, well, not so great. She did this cat thing.
I with the most hatred I think I've ever had in my voice, besides, I don't know, maybe talking about like a game I hate. Like, I think this was the most hateful my voice has ever been. I said, well, she meowed at me. And I had to explain. And so the thing is, Dan was like really confused, and this is mega cringe of me, but Dan was confused, and he was like, what does that mean? And I was like, I can show you. And he was like, sure.
Oh, I forgot about this. You demonstrate, because we were like, we didn't really understand how you were explaining it to us, and you were like, I'm just gonna show you, and I was like, all right. So I just laid down, and Myles just replicated the whole thing on me, while my girlfriend just sat there like, oh god,
To be fair, I didn't replicate the kisses. It was just
but
the
like,
walk.
just
Yeah.
the meows.
Like
Yeah,
the positioning
still, like,
and the
something
meowing.
Yeah, I
straddling someone
The
while
spider
meowing.
walk, yeah.
Like,
Now that you,
the
I think I
fucking,
blocked
like,
that part out, but
Exorcist.
I do have a very vivid memory of Myles doing a fucking froggy exorcist walk towards me on my bed.
Oh, and she was a cat that year for Halloween.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Is she a furry now?
No, I hear she's mega Republican though, which is very funny.
Checks out.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so so the thing is, I broke up with her the next day. I felt really bad about it too because I thought I was the asshole in this situation. I was not. But later on, so basically, like a year later, she posted like an ad. Someone like, "Hey, I need someone to write a script of my book." And my great buddy Ben was like, "I'll do it, whatever." He just wanted any experience. At that point, he was taking every job he got. So not a furry to my knowledge, but in 3 different pyramid schemes.
Hey, Trevor.
That makes sense.
Hey, Trevor.
What's up, Trevor?
So basically, a good friend of mine and Trevor's, Ben, good buddy Ben.
Frankie?
Yeah, Frankie. Frankie. But anyway,
Frankie.
yeah. So he takes. He was like,
speech class.
he was like, yeah, I'll take the job. And so he starts writing it, and I remember him going, Myles, I can't do this. I can't do this. I was like, what? Like, he'd been writing it for like a week, and I remember he kind of updated me about it, like, I'm still trying to write this thing. He goes, this is the worst thing ever. I hate it. I can't write this. This story sucks. It's unfilmable. And so, like, he was like, I just gotta ghost her, man. I just gotta ghost her. And so I was like, no, man, you gotta quit. Like, you gotta quit for real. Because I had broken up with her. I felt bad. I couldn't bring more misery into her life. And so I should have. But
Myles has some thoughts on this.
But so anyway, so later on, she contacts him again, like next year when she finds out that Ben is my roommate, and she's like, "Can you help me find a guy?" And my buddy Ben, who's like a spindly little man who's only dated one girl,
A literal noodle of a human.
yeah, he's had the same girlfriend for like 5 or 6 years. Like he's not like going on dates. He's
He was
not like a
one and done kind of fella.
Yeah, he's not a breadwinner or not what's it called? Not a breadwinner. You know what I'm saying. Like he's not going on dates all the time. Like he's a matchmaker. He's not a matchmaker. But he's like, yeah, you know, I could introduce you to this guy, I can introduce you to this guy, like, you know, he's telling people. And the thing is, Allison's reputation, fuck.
There goes the
Perfect
camera.
time for the camera to cut out.
Good content.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Bleep that out on the YouTube version, I guess.
I will, yeah.
Whoopsie.
Anyways, so this girl's reputation across the school was already really bad. So everyone was like, "Oh, is that the horse girl?" Like, I don't want to deal with that. Because everyone knew her horse laugh at this point. It was infamous. And
her tendency to introduce herself as a self-published author.
Yeah,
for writing fan fiction.
Her tendency to give
That
people
was
her.
half of Emerson College, though.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
But so anyway, so it turns out the only reason that she asked Ben at this point was because she was like, you know what, Myles is the one that got away, and can you please just ask him if he's willing to give it another shot? And she says, I know that I screwed up. I know that this was all my fault, that he decided to leave, but I really think he's the greatest person I've ever met. He's
3 dates, by the way.
Yeah, 3 dates. She's like, he is the one that got away, and I really want to see him again. And
what was this, like a year and a half later?
yeah, a year and a half later. And so Ben asked me, like, hey, do you want to see Allison again? I was like, no, why? And he was like, he told me, like, this is how she feels about you. And I was like, oh, okay. That sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah, no, bro.
Hey, Myles, this girl is madly in love with you and can't get over you.
Like,
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, bro, I had a summer home in her brain, apparently.
That is a reasonable reaction, you know, to someone expressing their intense emotions to you.
Yeah.
oh
Foul,
God.
foul story.
Yeah, so all of this is to say, you should really read her next book. It's coming up soon, and I'm sure it's gonna be her best one yet. It's gonna be her best one.
We should see if she wants to advertise on the show.
Oh yeah, after we just talked after I called her a horse girl, yeah.
Can we invite her onto the show?
I'd like to defend her.
What if we did like couples therapy?
Oh, that would be so fun.
Would you be down for that,
Okay,
Myles? If we
wait,
did it, if we got her to call into the show and you guys talked about it?
I feel
that's
like-
extreme.
That's
extreme.
That's a good episode.
Between the two
There
of
are
us, we have
two-
enough therapy.
Right, there
We
are
could do
two
this.
ordained ministers here. I feel like there's something in couples therapy.
And
with
I'll say
you
this
know?
one. That's the funny failed relationship. So I would be all for it. I don't know if she thinks it's funny, but I think it's
But
funny.
at least you think it's funny.
Yeah.
That would
be
be
great next
so fucking hard if we did that. That would be the hardest stream ever.
I wouldn't mind doing that, but on one condition. That we have to have a giant green light above me.
Why?
Great Gatsby reference.
No.
Very
We need. It has to be more subtle.
No, I want you in a cat costume.
These LEDs under the bar, but only one goes green.
Oh, that's good.
And it just slowly like blinks green every like minute or so.
Yeah. And she's like, "What's with that green light?" I'll be like, "That's the representation of the American dream."
Yeah, that's the American dream. What else do you want?
Yeah.
And then we just start coaching you guys together using lines from the Great.
Yeah, no.
Like,
dude,
well, if you guys just keep like paddling on, you know, like boats
to your backs.
Yeah.
Boats against the current.
As the stream goes on, we just slowly don like 20s gear, like
you know, well, sometimes it's worth considering that there's nothing better than a girl for a girl to be than a hopeless little fool, you know.
Yeah.
Oh well, there's a really great.
So many Gatsby references.
How do you not know all the classic lines?
Do you know what the best?
Morgan?
Do you know what the best line for Great Gatsby is? And I think this is the perfect capper for all of our bad dates.
Oh boy.
This is the perfect line. To end.
Great Gatsby is
Which
sort of like one long bad date.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
But
a whole decade.
My favorite line in the book is Daisy Buchanan is a callous woman who stumbles through life, stepping on toes, never caring what she breaks.
Wow, same.
Yeah, and that I think that
the toes really speak to you, Morgan.
That gets high five.
I gotta go. I gotta leave. Fuck this. Fuck the show.
That was that's joke of the night. That's joke of the night.
Liz actually just landed the fucking touchdown there. That was a game-winning touchdown.
Liz literally doesn't speak the entire episode half the time, and comes in
and cocks the gun and assassinates Morgan live.
Oh my god, dude, that was a team carry. That was a team carry.
Liz is the carry player.
Literally popped her super in the last 10 seconds.
I have spent 7 years roasting Morgan's song. I'm gonna stop now.
I'm re-virginizing. I'm being celibate.
Well,
I'm never dating again.
Well, that's
our show tonight.
Yeah, wow, that was a long one. Thanks to everyone who stuck around. I don't know, somehow our viewers just kept going up during that. So I don't know why people like to watch us at this hour of the day, say the things that we say, but whatever. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Thanks to everyone who stuck around the whole time. Kong, Boomer, Ben, Trevor, whoever else is still out there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Liz is like Ferb, where every line, she only has one line every episode, but it's always like gold.
Yeah.
That's what I live for.
Potato,
it's
thank you for staying up.
one
Appreciate
of
it, bro.
us.
Thanks for calling in too. It was good to hear everyone's stories.
Yeah, I guess the question is,
we're supposed to pick a winner, right?
Yeah, which is the worst story?
Out of the ones that we heard, definitely the piss one. 100%.
Yeah, Megan's story wins. As far as
I would say the piss one is even worse than anything we told.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think
Megan,
that was
if you
easy to
want
work
gamer
on.
gummies.
Yeah, we'll send you a thing of gamer gummies.
The prize was going to be these 7-Eleven gamer gummies.
They are several months old.
Megan, I may also send you a tarp.
Yes, I think we're gonna mail you these 7-Eleven gamer gummies, which are flavored like energy drinks, and we're gonna wrap it up in a tarp, like a tarp paper.
Yeah.
Just in case you decide you want to cause any messes, you know.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Ben said, "Can the bar say good luck for my job interview?"
Good luck, fuck ass.
Good luck.
Don't tell me what to say, but also good luck.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. If this is your first time joining us, don't forget to hit us with a follow. We're live every Friday night at 8 p.m. I think sometime before then, potentially probably Tuesday, we're going to do some kind of special stream that is both my birthday and a Halloween special. Because I think we probably maybe won't have a Friday show next week because that is League of Legends Worlds Finals.
Our own Daniel J is turning a whole quarter-century-year-old.
That's crazy.
I think so.
Aging before our very eyes.
Usually we're on every Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific, but next week it's looking like we might just be on Tuesday. But keep an eye out on my Twitter. You can type ! Twitter in the chat or click the link below. That's where I always announce where our streams are happening. Same with the Discord, ! Discord in the chat, or link is in the description. Those are the best places to find out when we're streaming and what we're streaming. And if you haven't already, go give us a sub on YouTube. If you can't join us for any of these shows live, I always post a VOD there the next day. Clean it up, add some fun little editing bits there. I know this is a pretty late show.
Worst roommate stories. Dan and I both have.
We have
a joint good one.
We have a lot of good ones for that.
Yeah, we have a joint good one. And obviously Megan lived with the subject of our last.
Ben said Milas and Morgan have the same one. This is true. We have. Woof.
Yeah, bad roommate story is a great idea. Thank you for whoever.
That was Megan. Great idea.
Yeah, bad roommate story is Liz shaming me for not eating food properly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Morgan came out today, and I just wanted to say this so that she's shamed in front of the world. But Morgan came out today, and I was like, she was like, why am I so hyper and also tired? I was like, have you eaten? She was like, no. And I was like, you should eat. And then she proceeded to freeze 7 bananas and not eat a single thing of food and walk away.
My
Can I just say, Liz,
No,
like,
you don't get to explain that
Liz
one.
really
You don't
awoken.
get to explain that one.
Liz really awoken in like the last 5 minutes of the episode. She
My
became so
Adderall
powerful.
kicked in.
Well, you know where to find us. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate all the support. Shout out to everyone who subbed today. We got a lot of subs. Thank you guys so much for that. And shout out to everyone who called in. We don't do a call-in stream every time, but we do them, here and there occasionally. And there's always some kind of theme like this, so hopefully you join us for the next one. And we will see you guys. Keep an eye on my Twitter, but we'll see you Tuesday probably for a Daniel J. birthday / Halloween special.
I have
we've
4
got
costumes.
Yeah, we all have at
we've
least
got
4
some
costumes.
crazy stuff planned. I may or may not have bought a Ouija board for this.
Ooh.
You may have.
And I may or may not have invested in some special lighting.
Me and Morgan are sus of the Ouija board.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how white people die first.
We don't fuck with the ghosts.
That's fine. I'm gonna die.
That's
You can't die first.
I'm not white.
It's
pretty
a
sick.
50-50 shot between
Wait,
us,
shit,
and
I'm
not
black
gonna
though.
take
That's
that.
the problem.
Exactly!
Oh no!
That's the thing!
Miles just realized.
Miles just remembered.
If we follow tradition, you'll die first, Liz will die second because she's a white woman. I'll die at the very last moment,
Yeah,
and
Morgan's
Dan
the
will
last one for
survive.
No. I died.
No, because you're the final girl.
Yeah, you have to be the last one.
No,
You're for
I
sure the
have
last
to be
one.
the final girl because I'm the most virginal of us all.
That's true.
true.
You're the most
Yeah,
pure.
that's
Yeah.
And Liz, you could definitely see her like wielding a chainsaw and
yeah.
shit, because like
Oh,
the
yeah,
final
'cause-
girl's
yeah.
got to
'Cause
put
I-
up a fight.
I
I
buy
don't
my
think
work-
Morgan could put up a fight.
I buy my
the thing
murder
is,
weapons at Home
like,
Depot.
Because, like, Dan can't fight.
She
but
throws
he is
the
a white
tarp over
man.
the bad guy.
So he'll survive till the very last minute. So it'll be
Fuck you, I can
Miles
fight. I'm a
and
sick
then
fighter.
me, because I will try to fight and fail miserably because I just put on some nails and my acrylics won't last for a fight.
The thing is, I'll die before I even know anything's wrong.
I
That's
just
how
want
it
to.
goes.
I just want to clarify.
And then-
I'm a warrior.
No, you're
I'm a
not.
fighter. I'm
Dan,
a warrior.
Dan, you weigh like less than me. And
You may have
I'm,
a
like,
fighter
tiny.
spirit, but you're not
Yeah.
a fighter.
I'm a warrior.
Yeah,
and anyone
no.
who disagrees
Dan-
with that can go fuck yourselves. I'm
Dan,
ending the show
you-
right here. Hey, Morgan.
Dan,
I don't want to
you
fucking hear
have-
from you.
You have the like structure of a Victorian child with scurvy.
You have the bones made of brittle pasta.
Exactly. There's less to hit. I'm nimble. I'm agile. I'm quick on my toes. Try to fight me. I fucking dare you.
Dan, you are the dead weight.
Okay, next stream, me and Dan
Next
fight.
stream fight.
Yep. See you guys
Let's go.
Tuesday for our Halloween fist fighting special,
Halloween
where
fight
Morgan
club.
and I duke it out to the death live
Let's
live
go.
here at Bar
Let's see who
Coffeebreath.
has
to death.
less dense bones.
Oh, I'll fight you.
Oh fuck! Thanks guys. I'll see you Tuesday. Love you. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You guys are the best. Hit us with a follow if you haven't yet, and we'll see you
Welcome to
next
hell.
week. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Good night. Ah!